Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. My name is Sean Driver. This is the Red Horde, continuing the series, the Who Are You series. In this one, well, we know who you are, Notts County. We've had our run-ins before. We'll continue to have them for at least a couple more this year, and we'll see what ends up happening. But the question will be, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Let's get into it. This one is a consequence of the history that Notts County and Wrexham have had. They've been interconnected through, the documentary, the push through the National League, the record-setting pace that both teams had last year. A lot of the history is known, so the intention on this one, let's get to the analytics, because there's a lot there. Contrasting styles, very different approach to the game, and it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see who's able to sort of assert their will come Saturday. So let's jump right into it. And if you like this content, as always, hit that subscribe button. But without wasting any time, Notts County FC, the Magpies, obviously. Location, Nottingham, England. Population, 323,632. And the games, as we are aware, Meadow Lane. Opened in 1910, capacity 19,841. And this year, 11,678 people average attendance for Notts County. That's second in League Two behind Bradford and just ahead of Wrexham. They're filling out just about half of the stadium, 58.9%, but as word on the street is there's only, as of Thursday evening, about 100 tickets left, and then it'll be a complete sellout at Meadow Lane. Distance away from the Racecourse, 93 miles, 150 kilometers, or 2 hours and 20 minutes for those of you who are making the trek from Wrexham for the madness. Let's talk turnover, and you look at Company House for the records of Notts County, and they were last posted December 2022 for the year end June 2022, so we're a year and a half behind. For that season ending in 2022, assumed to have been £6.5 million on the turnover side of things. They do have a higher than desirable creditor bill. That's always a concern, but they have owners that are willing to foot it. So not driving their turnover and their wage rate by necessarily pushing and finding revenue streams, but instead just simply turning to the owners, which is a long-term risk, but as long as you have owners willing to pay, everything seems to be okay. So I'll leave that for Notts and their own fans to assess whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Rest of the first half schedule, it's interesting. You look at them, I'll bring up both of them here. Notts County ends up having a lot of games still to play with some of the top teams. Obviously, Wrexham sitting in third, Stockport County sitting at first, Crewe sitting in fifth, and then the rest of them sort of mid-table teams. The lowest they go is Harrogate Town at 17th. For Wrexham, we've played a lot of the top teams already. I'm going to knock Notts County off the list, and once we do, we've got some lower top third teams, Accrington, Stanley, Morecambe, Harrogate. But then after that, to finish everything off, we've got teams that are lower in the league, and one would hope that ease of schedule means that points could be driven home. So this could be the jumping off point for something great for Wrexham, and conversely, it could be the jumping off point for something harmful for Notts County. Notts County, founded November 28, 1862. That makes it the oldest professional association football club in the world. And for trivia purposes, the reason why I air quoted is they had to add the word professional to stave off claims from Crystal Palace for being the oldest, because Crystal Palace formed as an amateur club in 1861. And also they have to use the word association to stave off the claims of Sheffield FC. And I don't mean Sheffield Wednesday. I don't mean Sheffield United. I'm talking about the 8th tier team, Sheffield FC, who played under the Sheffield rules until eventually changing to the association rules in 1878. But they've been around for a long time and obviously a founding member of the EFL. So they've got that history, doing that in 1888, where they finished 11th, but they were re-elected to remain in the EFL. And then in 1892-93, they were relegated for 3 seasons before being brought back into the fold in 1896-97, where they stayed until 1912-1913, and then they sort of went back and forth between the top 2 tiers up until 1929-1930. They were then relegated, and then they went between the second and the third tiers up until 1957-1960, and then 3 seasons, really painful, went from second tier to fourth tier. Bounced around between the second and the fourth tier, then up until 2014-2015 when they had that relegation into League Two. They stayed there and then had a subsequent relegation 2018-2019, and we know how long they were in the league, because the National League, because they ended up joining with Wrexham last year, obviously. So best season ever for them, third in the top tier, 1,900 to 1,901. Just behind Liverpool and Sunderland, for record's sake. Honours, they've been second division champs 3 times, most recently 1922-23. Third division champs 2 times, most recently 1949-1950. And they've been fourth division champs 3 times, most recently 2009-2010. FA Cup winners way back in 1893-94. Let's talk about the kit, and I want to understand this. They have these long-standing, gorgeous black and white stripes, and as much as I'm not a Notts County fan, I do like the history of sticking to those black and white stripes. They're well-renowned, and so all the credit to them. But then they have these away and third jerseys that are just sort of a cornucopia of colors with no rhyme and no reason. Why? They've had red, they've had orange, yellow, two-tone blue, mauve, purple. The badge is gold with black and white, and I'm sure that you can come up with away jerseys and third jerseys that build on that theme. It is what it is. They decided not to stay with the brand, and they continue to do so, and oh well, what do I care? This year, it's blue with white trim. So boring, I can't even get my words out. Bookie odds had them third, so expected to be in the running, and they're damn close to being in third place. Their performance, 9 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses, 30 points, and that makes them 3 points higher on the table than Wrexham. They were trounced from the EFL Cup in the first round with a loss to Lincoln City at home, that being a League One team currently sitting 9th in the table. Out of the EFL trophy as well after losses to the Wolves B team and the Derby County. So unless they can defeat their EFL Cup nemesis, Lincoln City, by at least 2 goals, and get a Wolves B squad loss, they'll be out of the EFL trophy. I'm sure they're not going to be heartbroken from that. Follow along on Twitter, and they're definitely on for the ban of the trophy with the B team edition. Record in the last 5, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So looking at their last 5 games, they had a 3-0 home win against Notts County just most recently, dominated in all stats, 67% possession, some 18 shots, 495 passes. It was clearly a dominating win. The stats recognize it should have been a dominating win on all hands, so they've earned that one. 2 games ago, 2-1 road victory against Gillingham. Again, they dominated possession. They had 583 passes, but they were behind in big chances, and actually the expected goals per game, at least on FOTMob, says that game should have ended in a draw. So maybe fortunate to get away there, but you see that theme of huge possession, huge volume passing. Then we've got the 4-1 education by Mansfield over Notts County that happened 3 games ago for them, where Notts was absolutely crushed in that game. Their back line pillaged and just Swiss cheese, and Mansfield carved them up. I was able to watch that game because it started before the Wrexham game. I will say this, I hate the iFollow rules because you've got to end up paying to watch that game, and then you've got to choose who do you want to give your £8 to, because 80% of the iFollow goes to Notts County or Mansfield. I'm not going to say what I ended up deciding to do, but I just wish there was a way that you could give the club to the team that you support and just watch the other games around the league. That's a different subject and for a different day. 4 games ago, a 1-1 draw against Barrow, 67% possession again, 581 passes, but they were behind in big chances and in shots and in expected goals. And actually, even though it was a 1-1 draw, the FOTMob stats says Barrow should have probably taken away 3 points on that one. Then 5 games ago, 3-1 win at home to Swindon Town, and that one was fascinating because that's the only game of the 5 where they were actually behind in possession. They did have more big chances, but they only 388 passes, so I don't know what happened with the style and whether that was Swindon's style asserting itself and winning out, but they ended up with more big chances, and the win was earned. So that's the 5-game history look. What's fascinating about this is the contrasting styles. And so as we go through these and we bring up the different team stats, the different player stats, I want to sort of identify the identities of Notts County and Wrexham and just follow the stats and find out, does that fit for what you're seeing as well? So what do we got? I'm going to put up these statistics here to compare the team statistics between both teams to try and demonstrate their difference in styles, and keep the conversation in mind as we go through the individual statistics, because they are as divergent as you can get between 2 clubs. So when you look at Notts County, they are patient, but they're also very clinical when they're in attack. They have the second highest goals per shots on target in the league. So some 50 passes before taking a shot, but once they go and they're on target, it tends to find the back of the net at a higher rate than anybody else. Wrexham were more direct. We're at about 20-25 passes until we get a shot, but we are a high volume shooting team, so different contrasting styles there. Notts County defensively, absolutely atrocious in the air. Worst team in the league, and you look at the individual stats as they pop up, and you're going to see some air duel one statistics that are shockingly bad for defenders. The good side for Wrexham, well, strongest team in the air in all of League Two, most accurate crosses in the league, and that's part of what our mode to success is going to be. Notts County, well, they're in attack, they're on the ground. And what's the bad news for Wrexham is that's how you rip open our back line, is not through the air. It's through that interplay in the box and finding a pathway through. What is also concerning for the game coming up is that Jody Jones down their left side, so our right side, is absolutely tearing it up. And if there is one person who can end up not only serving up some crosses, but also attacking directly, it is Mr. Jones. And who are we going to have down the right side? Is it going to be Hayden, Tunnicliffe? Is it going to be Ford? Is he back from injuries? Or Mendy? Whoever that is has to be an answer because they're going to be challenged, and that's going to be a major component to the game. Finally, the last difference would be the positional play of the teams and where they end up gaining possession. Notts County does have a high line, and they gain a lot of possession on the opposition's midfield. And that's because they move their defensive line forward. They put pressure on the entire team, their entire opposition, to try and eke those turnovers, maintain possession, and come back the other way. The way to attack that is a counterattack. And in April, when the teams last met, that was what Wrexham was able to do, is get that counterattack flowing. For Wrexham, they're going to have to be happy giving up some possession, I suspect, and they're going to have to be willing and capable at the counterattack. And what I'd like to see is a little bit of an improvement on those goals per shots on target, because the opportunities are going to be far thinner. As far as keys to success, for Wrexham, this isn't changing style. It's not being something that you're not, but we cannot give away possession. And that's absolutely crucial. And finally, we just have to be able to seize those opportunities, and somebody please hopefully step up defensively on that anticipated ground attack. Last match with Wrexham, well, how can we forget? April 10, 2023, that 3-2 win where Fozzie, busted out the save going to the right, and everyone, well, at least in the Racecourse, was blissfully happy going home after that one. Connections to Wrexham, none on our side, but Connell Rawlinson, he's a 32-year-old defender for Notts County. He was born in Wrexham and started his football career in that team up north that starts with a C. Last season's performance, we know it well. Second most points in the National League all time, and also that was good for second place last year. 32 wins, 11 draws, 3 losses, which put them 4 points back from Wrexham at the end of things. Luke Williams, the gaffer for Notts County, did have a conversation about the upcoming game with Wrexham, and he described that entire season last year as just relentless because every draw felt like a loss. Luke Williams, we just talked about him, short career in non-league football before he turned to coaching. He moved through grassroots and became a development coach, joined Brighton and Hove Albion, managed their B squad, their under-21 team. Then in 2013, he joined Swindon Town as an assistant for the manager, became a replacement manager, then a caretaker manager, and then in 2016, he was finally became the permanent manager for Swindon Town. In the 2017 offseason, he ended up moving to Bristol City, head coach in the championship, and then 2019, he became an assistant at Milton Keynes before finally leaving in 2022, and in that offseason, joined Notts County. His record for Notts County, 43 wins, 16 draws, and only 10 losses for Notts. Lots of additions for Notts County since we saw them last. 5 different players coming in. Aidan Stone, goalkeeper, a free transfer from Port Vale. Daniel Crowley, 26, a free transfer from Morecambe. Jody Jones, who we just talked about, doing exceptionally well down that left side and being a handful, was a free transfer from Oxford United. Will Randall, 26, a free transfer from United. And then you've got David McGoldrick, who's adding some offensive flair, who's a free transfer from Derby County. He's had a history with Notts County, wanted to come back and sort of wrap up his year being 35 years of age. They've also got 2 relatively new loan additions. Lewis Macari, 21, who's a loan from Stoke City. He's only played 165 minutes, but looking at the Twitter accounts, or X accounts, rave reviews for last week's performance. So we'll see if he ends up getting a run again here. And then you've also got a center back, Ollie Tipton, 20, loan from Wolverhampton. And I'll tell you, looking at the stats, somebody might want to look at giving him a shot because what they've got isn't doing it for them, despite what Mr. Langstaff said about the last game with Newport. The big name out for them was Ruben Rodriguez. He was the one who scored in the 109th minute in Wembley to get Notts County through to penalties, which they ultimately won. I've talked about WT analysis, WT_analysis, and their work. There's another one, B. Griffiths, who does some work as well, and a lot to do with Notts and with Wrexham and League Two. They've done this one most recently with the League Two shots per 100 passes. And again, you just have a look at it and where Notts is all by themselves on the left-hand side of that chart. That speaks to their composed offensive approach, their patient approach. But because they're higher up on that chart, it also talks about their leaky defense. As to Wrexham, over further on the right, that demonstrates more direct, a little bit more controlled defensively than Notts County is. Turning to the next chart, and this is from B. Griffiths, at B. Griffiths on X or Twitter, whatever you call it. And he demonstrates that Wrexham sitting there at 11%. What that percentage stands for is the open play passes that end up in the box of the team that's listed. So for us, that's 11%. That means we're doing better than anybody else in the league at refusing passes to come into the box. Our shape is good when we're back there. We're good in the air. We're good with passes going through the box. It's just getting beat by people who come forward and make those plays one-on-one and direct. Notts County, interestingly enough, when it comes to their back line, well, they're the weakest team in the air, but they're also the weakest team at allowing passes inside their own box. So seizing the opportunity becomes much more important. Taking a look at the forwards then for Notts County, and a familiar name there, Macaulay Lagenstaff, and we know the battles that he had with Mullen last season. He's had 1,288 minutes. He's been healthy throughout, 11 goals. And you take a look at their per 90 stats, he's leading the charge, 98th percentile on shots taken, so up near the top. Even better, shots on target, 99th percentile. Shot conversion rate at 90th percentile, so he's converting at a rate that you would expect, and he's taking high volumes. So Langstaff doing his thing. McGoldrick, 1,070 minutes. He's got 6 goals, so a nice little addition coming in, 35 years of age and adding his experience. And he's adding 2.6 shots. So they're getting their offense from really the true front line. It's a little bit more diverse and spread out with Wrexham, where you definitely have, with Notts County, their strikers lead their charge, full stop. Shot conversion rate not quite as impressive in the 84th percentile, and a shot accuracy even lower at 67%. His numbers actually somewhat more similar to Paul Mullen, McGoldrick having a very solid season. Daniel Crawley, who's listed as a forward midfielder, and it's a little bit, he's moved up and back as things go forward. Interesting with him is the massive increase he's had in his goals per 90. Last year, 0.07 goals per 90, his best year ever coming back in 2016. This year, he's up to 0.57 goals per 90. That's a massive jump. And I look at the shots on target. He's got 6 shots on target and 7 goals. So I don't know exactly how those goals are coming into play, but he's largely there for his passing and his setup. I anticipate, given that he's had 470 passes and 418 of them successful. He's got a high pass completion rate, and I suspect he's there for part of that carving up and interplay that happens in the box that Notts prefers to do, and that Wrexham's actually good at defending. So will it be interesting to see if Crawley's able to work his magic. You've also got Aaron Namane, and his statistics, his passing stats, just not there as much. 334 passes, 36 passes per 90 minutes. That's only in the 54th percentile. Key passes, only 1.19 per 90. That's 73rd percentile. And then those successful crosses, he's at the 82nd percentile. So not expected to be as much of a threat as the other names, but he's not falling off the map as far as skill set is concerned. I'll bring up the Mullen numbers just as a comparison, and you can see a little bit below where Langstaff and McGoldrick are. We obviously know the reason why. I think they're equal in quality now that Mullen's been going, and so we should see those numbers even out for Mullen going forward. Midfielders, and here you've clearly got one guy leading the way with respect to passes, and another guy who's leading the way with respect to key passes and crosses. And so just to lead, Matt Palmer, 28 years of age, 1,262 minutes. That's a ton of time logged for Mr. Palmer, and he's 99th percentile in number of passes, in successful passes, and in pass completion. So he's there, but not the person who's responsible for a lot of the service. Crosses only 1 per game into the 56th percentile. So expect him to be in that midfield helping out in the back and some of those secure passing where they're looking for possession before he decides to probably turn and go, I suspect is his role. Jody Jones, we talked about him, 26 years of age, 1,017 minutes, and then have a look at the number of his crosses. 6 crosses. He's clearly leading the team in that regard, 95th percentile in the league, and that's sort of his role coming down their left side, our right, is to gain possession and either look for those key passes in, which the highlights have shown me that he's good at, or serve up those crosses, which let's hope he opts for the crosses, because at least we have a defense for that, rather than seeing Jody Jones decide to run at people. Other anticipated players to play for Notts County in the midfield could be John Bostock, 31, 901 minutes. Again, he's a boss when it comes to passes and successful passes and pass completion rate. That's because of the style that they play, the ticky-tack in the back, just going to be safe and wait for an opportunity and a letdown before trying to move forward. Not a threat with his crosses, not a threat with key passes, but somebody who's able to establish things in the midfield, and somebody that hopefully we can nick the ball from a couple of times. Other players that we can look at, Sam Austin, 26, he's got 645 minutes. Look at his numbers, not really that impressive considering what Notts County has done historically with respect to their passing. But there is another player who intrigues me, and that's Toby Adebayo Rowling. He's 26 and he's only had 410 minutes. But you look at his key passes and his crosses. This is somebody who doesn't have the volume of everybody else per 90, but as far as the under threat and putting pressure on an opposing team, he seems to be somebody who can add that skill set. And so interested to see if he gets his shot. Then we've got another chart from WT_analysis, and this one, the percentage of aerials won in both boxes, and you can see Notts County in that bottom left of that chart. And what does that mean? Well, take a look at the y-axis, the one that's going up and down, and that's got the percentage of aerials won in the opponent's box. Not something that Notts County does. Them and Morecambe lowest in the league in winning aerials. And that's not the style that they play. They're coming on the ground. Aerials won in their own box, again, one of the worst in the league, fourth worst, as a matter of fact, sitting at 40% of aerials won in their own box. So what do I say when you're Wrexham is feel free to have a run directly because you can, but that aerial attack is going to be there for you, and that means Tozer, I think you have to give him a run so that he can get those throws in. George Evans, if Tozer's not, to be able to fill that in, and Mr. McLean will be looking at you down the left side to be serving up a lot of deliciousness, placing it on some heads so that it's there for us. Looking at the defenders then, and reminder, we've talked about how poor they are with their stats. You've seen the one statistics before. The center backs end up having aerial duels won statistics in the 97th to 99th percentile in the league. And just have a look at this. Kyle Cameron, 26, 1,170 minutes, 65th percentile with aerial duels won, and his ground duels, 51st percentile. Run at him, go through the air. Richard Brindley, 30, 1,095 minutes. Aerial duels won, 47th percentile. Ground duels won, 15th percentile. Through the air, run at him, have a kick. Aidan Baldwin, doing a little bit better than the others. Aerial duels won, 73%. His ground duels, 24th percentile. We're just serving up the same thing here. Hit the repeat button. It's pretty clear what to do. Connell Rawlinson, aerials duels won, 51st percentile, 9th percentile on ground duels won. It is an atrocious back line, and so what do? Well, you do what Notts County does, is they insulate them, they inoculate against the back line by dominating possession and moving the high line up. And so we've got to steal some possession. We've got to be smart when we have the ball and not give it away. As for the goaltenders, an interesting development as far as the goalkeepers go. They brought in Stone, 24-year-old. He's played 1,004 minutes. They let Slocum go from last year. He played in the first game and then got pulled, allowing 4 out of the 5 goals got past him. Stone then came in and took over from weeks 2 to 12. Not exactly sure what happened and why he got pulled out, whether he got a bit of a knock, but there was a 4-5 loss to Colchester. There was a 1-1 draw to Barrow, where the only goal that went in was a penalty kick. 66% save percentage. He's been doing all right, not exceptional, but all right. But they went back to Old Faithful, Slocum. He's played in the last 3 games, which included the Mansfield drubbing, and he's only got a 59.3% save percentage. He is coming off his first clean sheet of the season, but doesn't seem to have the quality that Stone has. Just as a comparison, you've got Stone at 66%, Slocum at 59.3%. Where do we sit? Arthur Ogonkwo sitting at 76.9%, so we do have an advantage in net. Look, we're doing the same thing that we do each time we do these videos as we look at foods to compare the team to, as well as a team in the North American professional ranks. And so let's compare the team. You've got a highly offensive team with absolutely atrocious defense. Well, this is the easiest one to look at in hockey. That is the Edmonton Oilers. Great players up front, solid as all hell, brutal in the back line, and not really the best in goal. As to the NFL, maybe this year the Miami Dolphins, they're putting up a lot of points. They're also allowing a lot of points. And so that's where the professional sports analogies go. As to a food, let's go with quinoa. A vegetarian dish that takes an exceptionally long time to cook. What is it, 22 minutes, 25 minutes to get quinoa going properly? And yeah, it serves up what you need, but there's nothing really fancy about it, and that's Notts County style. Is they're not going to wow you with their play. It takes a long time to get going, but can't say they're bad. And that's true. Notts County is a capable team. Look, this is going to be a fascinating one to watch, not only because of the history, not only because of how the teams came through last year, and how they're started this year, neck and neck racing to try and get into those and hold those automatic promotion spots, but also the stylistic play. Twitter's a buzz about this one, so it should be a good one. The watch party. I expect this one to be a cracker. We're continuing to grow and build up, and things are getting good. We're pushing higher numbers each time. The last record we broke in the last one was the most consecutive chat messages that were sent. So we've got an active crew, the old guard that's sitting there, people like Brendan and Jed and Andrew and John and so many original people. W&G is sitting there helping out. Come and join the mob. We have a good time doing it, and it's exciting to sit and watch. You'll see this one before the game on Saturday. I'll be running it from the desktop, planning to do the women's game as well, and potentially working with Welsh Beast on something interesting that we're going to try and pull off, and we'll have a chit chat about that one as well. If you like this one, hit the subscribe button. Lots of information. I know I packed this one with research because, well, we know who Notts County is. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you Saturday for the watch party, right? This has been the Red Horde. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. Sean Driver, and holy moly, what a lineup we got on this one. I'm just going to check my connections and make sure everything's good here. I think I may have myself muted. Nope, I don't. Well, then what's going on? Everything's good here. And we are good. Sorry about that one. I'm still in shock. That was a scramble trying to set up the new edition over here there with the lineups, and then all of a sudden everybody decides to change it up, including both teams. So Makari drawing in for Stotts is interesting. Morning, Woody. Brendan saw you early. John saw you. I'm excited, man. It's early in the morning. I got my cup of Java. Mark Griffiths in my ear. Wrexham singing away and busting it out. The video yesterday took I expect some visitors, because I actually went to a third-party site. Whenever I get a huge spike in my traffic, I'm like, that video went somewhere. And so, yeah, it made a Notts County chat lane, chat board, and they were having fun with it. And I got a lot of views as a result, like something like 11 times, not 11 times, 3-4 times what I normally get. 300 views, and I'm already up over 1,000. I haven't checked it yet today. But mad. Dire need of a coffee. Yes. I've got it. I'm wired. Hoping to get there. Holy, it looks like, is that a sprinkler or rain? No, that was a sprinkler system. I was sitting there looking down and going, holy cow. Woody, I'm with you on the 5 goals being scored today. I mean, I think this is going to be absolutely crazy. But I don't know if it's going to be 5-0 for us, 0-5 the other way. I went with a 3-2 score, trying to predict this one. But listening to everybody talk, there's scores all over the place. Nobody knows what's going on. I think everybody has their fingers crossed, squeaky bums right from the kickoff, and away we go.
if you're new here, and I've put some new rules down there, and I noticed that 2 people got timed out. I've got a stream bot, and it's just to try to clean things up. So if you talk in all caps, there's going to be an issue. If you're going to end up adding too many symbols, it's going to have a problem. Bad language, it gets caught. So just chat. If it gets to be too much, I'll pull the stream bot, and away we go. Let's set this up a little bit here. So Slocum for them comes in. That's a surprise. I think he's the weaker of the goaltenders, so that's good. The biggest one is Makari, the young guy who's on loan, who apparently did well against Newport. He's drawed back in. And Bostock, he's out with an injury. So, but they've got the rest of their front line is as dangerous as it gets and as it anticipated. For us, Evans and O'Connor on the back line. And Mendy with the big assignment. I think that this ball, I've said it in comments and tweets before, I think the ball's going to go in a circle today. And what I mean by that is their player, Jones, not our Jones, Jody Jones, is their left wing back. And he's a beast. And he's exceptionally hot right now. And he's going to be running at Mendy on his off wing the entire time. Him and Tunnicliffe going to have to do a good job to shut things down. Conversely, you're going to end up with, I think, McLean and Lee attacking on our left side down against their right. So I think the ball's going to be circling around. Chatbots are precursors. This guy that could very well be. Looking at you, I see you down under. What time is it down there anyway? I'm curious. Not my midfield that I'd go with Jones and Cannon. Jones, I'm not so off with. Cannon, I just don't think he should be in the lineup. You got Davis, you got Young. Those are the ones that I'd go with. Whew, that's a good start for you guys. Yikes. I guess I can't complain. I'm just waking up and banging out the cobwebs, and you guys are smashing coffee just to keep the eyelids awake. The things we do for Wrexham on a Saturday evening, Saturday morning. I'm shocked with the lineup. I'm still just staring at it, and I don't know what to talk about. Are we talking about Makari on the or not Makari? Mendy on the wrong side? Was Ford a better option? I guess what Parky's saying is 2 things. One, you play for the team. Like, he's not. You got to give him guts. Got to give him all the benefit in the world. It takes balls to come up with a lineup that's completely out of the ordinary. 3 guys out of position. And to have the cojones to do that when you've got a big game, that's something, because he's either going to eat it and wear it, or he's going to look like an absolute hero. And you can't say that Parky's shy after that selection. I think what he's thinking. Oh, and Dalby too as well in for Palmer. But I think what he's thinking is, we expect Notts County to run at us. That's what they do. They're not an aerial team, and so why have the superiority there? Why not put in players like O'Connor has been doing on our left side? Andrew, why are you giving the bad news? Do we know who's coming in? Jeepers. So I was actually happy with Tunnicliffe because of the Jody Jones attacking on that left side. I thought, okay, well, Mendy on the wrong side, as long as he gets the message that he's got to be more defensive today, things will be okay. And Tunnicliffe back there, I'm confident is one of the better on the ground center backs that we've got to deal with it. So now I guess we're going to go with a change up. I wonder who draws in. If it's going to be, I guess you've got to go with Hayden. Hey, James, no worries. I put the rules down there because I noticed some people keep getting caught. So, caps, no more than 10 emoticons. I can't extend it any bigger than that. Those that are subscribers, hint, hint, subscribers, click the little button and that number goes up. Those that are subscribers get a little bit more freedom to do what they're wanting to do, but I just felt I had to control some of the stuff given what I anticipated to be a larger than normal crowd. I hope it's not too onerous. If it is, I'll have to change it. We'll see. I can always shut it down partway through the match if I see too many people are getting kicked and punted and dealt with. I'm with you. I was thinking Ford rather than Mendy. I wanted somebody who's more familiar on that side. I mean, I know Mendy played it in junior on that side. This is a crazy lineup. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, can somebody sell Jones and Cannon? I guess if you put Evans in the back, you've got to come up with somebody. But how did Youngie not draw in? Sharon, good morning. And so I hope you guys are listening to the game if you're not able to because of the Article 48 in the UK or otherwise. But the kids have been out there for a full 15 minutes waving flags as they're waiting for the players. It's getting to 6:58. We're getting close to kickoff, and the teams haven't come out onto the pitch yet. So we're waiting. And Mark's having a blast saying that the players got to do better for the health and safety of the kids that are out there. Well, I know that Tozer was given a break because he'd played too many minutes, and now whether that's Parkey throwing it out there to placate Tozer or the fans, that's one thing. But I don't get why Young's on the way out. I thought he was still playing impressively, so I'm shocked by them being there. And here they come, led on all out, and it looks like Tozer's leading the way and wearing the armband. So I wonder if he's going to slide into the middle. You know what? That's what I would do. If this is what Parkey's put out there and he's decided that he's going to go with with Evans and O'Connor in the back, and now Tunnicliffe, who was going to be up against Jones, is out, I want somebody better out there. So I'd rather have Mendy and Evans out on the right side and slide Tozer into the middle. Now you've got your aerial coverage. You're now going to have your throws, which makes me happy because the biggest weakness that Notts County has in their back line is see that, John. The biggest weakness that Notts County has is through the air. No, it was listed as, I've got the list up right beside. It was listed as Evans and O'Connor got pulled into the back line, RKO. So we're trying to figure out what they're doing now that Tunnicliffe went down. We're trying to figure out, is that what the circumstances are? Is where's Tozer going to slide in? I think you've got to put him in the middle, and I think you put Evans from where we were going to have him in the middle of the back line out onto the right. But we will have to have a look and figure it out. I got to make sure I get my timer lined up and started here. Mascot still in the field, so we got some time. Yeah, it sounds like it's just Tozer come in, so we will see. Already hit 100 messages on this stream. We got 90 people in the chat, it's watching the thing. So this is looking like it's going to be a full day, which is what you'd expect from. Do we call it a derby? Can we give this a name? I know it's not geographically. And if you haven't seen it during the halftime, you know what? You can tune me out if you want to watch it. Go to Twitter and watch the video that Notts County made. Really, really, really classy video, I thought, and a good job. So, yeah, no, we got 5 midfielders today. That's what we're. Some people suggested maybe they're going with a diamond shape lineup. I don't think they are because they've lined up Mendy and McLean in the same way. So, I don't know. Yeah, Tunnicliffe was injured, so we know that much. We just don't know where they're all lining up. So we will find out shortly. This could be anything, are the words of Mark Griffiths before kickoff, and I cannot say I disagree. This could be anything. Buckle up, strap in. It's going to be a chaotic, bumpy ride. 90 minutes plus of just pure, unadulterated, heart attack inducing madness. And there we go. Just going to get everything all signed up as we start off, and we're going to kick it out, and they're going to get an opportunity for a throw in early on in the process. I'm going to try, because of the Article 48 and the stupidity of the EFL, we'll talk about the vlog thing maybe at the half, chat a little bit more about the play as we go through. Long throw in. McGoldrick can't get to it. It goes to Tozer. And it does look just from that where he was at the midfield stripe that he's into the left-hand side. Good ball over top. Onside. All free. Nobody there. Dalby looking. Kicks it back out to McLean. Left side. Cross in. Too low. Too flat. And so it's going to go a Tozer throw, which we wouldn't have had. Squeaky bum time from minute 1. Let's go. Yeah, I think it's got to be a 5-3-2 because he's got... If you're going to go with a 4-4-2 diamond or something along those lines, you're not going to have Mendy and McLean draw into it, I don't think. So I don't think that's the circumstances we're dealing with. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. So long throw, easily gathered, and away they go. This is Slocum with the ball, waiting to get it out. Oh, all I hear is Wrexham in my ears. It's glorious. Ready to throw down. W&G, it's awesome to have you here. Taking care of the scoreboard duties for us. I'm going to have to find a way to get... The fans are loud, John. I think we know we've got over 2,000, but... Yeah, the cease and desist letter. He wasn't the only one. Jebel got one as well. But those are the only two that I know of. I'd probably talk about that at the half. So 2 minutes in, and we're just sitting there. Slocum got it back. Just a playback. We're going to see lots of possession from... turnover. They've got it midfield. McGoldrick over to the left side. And that's Cameron. Down. Jones. Ball in. Headed away there. Well done by Cannon, but they've gained possession. And this is the stuff that when we get a chance to clear, we've got to be able to get possession because this is what they do is they're just going to come back at waves. McGoldrick at the front of the box, loops it in, tries it. Okonkwo secures it. Oh no, Mendy just went down injury. Mendy just... And he looks like he's in trouble. And the fans are booing him as though he's like milking for time. And yeah, they're calling him out. It's a left knee. Well, Ford, is he on the bench? Yep, there we go. I guess that's not what we wanted. Jeepers. No, I think it's his left knee. I didn't see what happened. I know that McGoldrick, all that happened right during the play was McGoldrick came in front of him from left to right in front of Mendy as the right back. No contact, no that I saw. Wasn't even close, really. It was just a turn and go, and it doesn't look good, Andrew, at all, does it? And Ford, question mark was whether he was fully back. I know that Tuesday, I think it was, Parky said that he was okay and ready to go. But we just haven't heard anything since or seen him. I can't recall the last time Ford was out. I think, John, some of the reason we can hear them is because the broadcast booths, as they are often in the stands, and they're obviously Mark usually sits with the Wrexham, closer to the Wrexham fans, so the microphone's closer as well. So that could influence things. Well, that's not a shock. Stockport leading the way against Tranmere. So Mendy got up. He's walking off, but he doesn't look good. But it looks like he might have some interest to get in. But I'll tell you what I want is I don't want an injured player down that side with Jones there. So they're suggesting a cramp. It sure didn't look to me like a cramp. 3,000 Wrexham fans. Wowzer. That's a day out. That is a day out. That is behind me, and I'll bring it up here. That is the countries that have joined us. Those are the countries that have joined us for the watch party. So we're underway, 5 minutes, more possession by Notts County, sitting at the midfield stripe and just taking their time. This is Crowley, gets it up. I will be surprised. You look at the statistics, it's 50 passes for every one shot. They seem to be a little bit more direct than I would have anticipated. And maybe that's I don't know if that's a decision on their end, if that's a verdict and a decision because of the nature of our midfield. Yeah, I could very well be a few minutes behind. It's as fast as I can get it to you. I have tried to speed it up. Mendy's chasing, slow come back. That was poor play by the back line, but nobody really up there to get there. Almost 3 minutes, eh? Bonkers. I would like to be able to change it, but I can't. He is back in. If you want to, you can always do the slider and get it back. I'd only just ask those that are chatting. If you see a goal. Oh, that was a soft foul. And now he's getting a card. Good free kick. Banged it off of our shins. And we're getting a yellow card. Jones is getting one early. Yeah. So Knott's player gets tangled up in his own legs, falls, hits the ground. I can't call it a flop. He tripped. Jones gets the free kick. Jones is standing there going, why did I get a free kick? And he's literally with his hands up in the air going, why did I get a free kick? And a foul against me for that one. And while he's sitting there like that, the Notts County bangs the ball off of his knees and we take a yellow. Finland is not on the list. Got to get my paper ready. Always forget about, you do all the review, and Jones beat Mendy, crossed in, McGoldrick right there, hammered over top. That can't happen. That can't happen. Jones is the danger man, and on that left-hand side, he just blew past Mendy. That's going to be a problem, and Mendy's going to have to figure it out. Yeah, McGoldrick just ripped it probably 2.5 feet over top, although I think Ogonko was there had he wanted to grab it. So we've got it. Mullen working on two defenders. Cameron sitting there, looks to play it over, gets it over to Slocum. Not much in that one. Mullen does get over to Slocum. Long ball down, and he pumps it out, and that's a good play. If you've got a team who loves their possession, what you do is you try to find turnovers and try to find a way to maintain. That's a turnover forced by Mullen chasing after Slocum, and Slocum forced to kick it out. And so Mendy up to the midfield stripe for the throw-in. Attack momentum reading all Notts County so far. So here we go, midfield stripe. We've got some possession. Tom O'Connor looking far to the left. Good. McLean is chasing it down. It's going to go too far. Goal kick for Slocum. Right idea. I like it. They play essentially a 3-5-2 like we do, so we know what the weaknesses are. Is they're going to be into the corners, and there's going to be some soft spots there to get into. I actually haven't even looked over at I expected a sellout, so I'd be surprised if there was advertising over the stands, but have I looked up at the stands to figure that out? Not quite. Long kick up in the air. Winning these midfield battles when they're up in the air is going to be huge, but Notts pulls it away and they draw it back. Inside their own half, searching. Need to have a pass meter. As I've got it in my head, we're up to 6, 7. Down the left-hand side, pulling it back, and they're going to go back 8. So this is what we're going to get to look at, is a lot of Notts County in the back, searching. Down to the right side, 9, just at the midfield stripe. 10, whoa, he beats McLean easy. Oh, well done by Tom coming over, and Mr. O'Connor sweeps that one out. Whew. Up to Evans, who hammers it down to try and long ball it past the press. Up in the air, Knott's with it, up in the air. Three of us on, but Crawley's there. That's got to be a free kick. Is he playing advantage? He raises his hands up. Lee, it broke a lot of people. You know what? It was the order of it sucked, though, because what happened is I get all emotional because of the colliery disaster, and then they hit with the women right afterwards, and all of the drama, and Jones without her dad, and the Roberts family connection, and here I am crying over 2 videos in a row. So long ball over, going to be a Tozer throw. So long balls into those corners. They've got a high line again, and here you go, come with a Tozer throw, and this is the stuff where you need the header magic to work, right? Attack momentum, finally, we hit the mark. We're sitting at 61% possession, if you're curious. Not a single shot yet, and here we go. The whistles are coming out. They're concerned of time wasting at the 11-minute mark. Long ball in. Interesting. We're screaming. We're screaming for a penalty. Everybody's got their hands up. I didn't see. It was a weird bounce. I don't know exactly what it stopped. It looked like it was going to go for a corner, and then it stopped. Here's the throw. Oh, yeah, that's a handball. That's a handball on Cameron. Missed. So it did go out for a corner. So let's mark that one down at the 11-minute mark to watch when this one is over. Is the Cameron handball. Left-footed corner in. Well taken. Slocum able to punch it out, but it's still there. Mullen can't get to it. Knocked out. And they're going to call a free kick? What? For what? Somebody explain that one to me. Ian, I saw the burnt toast. Absolute garbage that burnt toast is. I'm confused as to why that's 2 fouls in a row that have been called that I don't understand. Yeah, John, that hit his hand. It came off. Yeah, that was a handball in the box. That was missed. Referee decided to ignore it. I don't think he could have missed that one. And 2 fouls so far the wrong way. I don't know what Mullen got, and I don't know why Jones got his. But hey, it is what it is. Mexico. Welcome. I've got Mexico on the list, though. North America's been taken care of for a while. Good morning, Stephen. Oh, was a handball on Mullen? Okay, I missed it. Going to be a throw in by Knots. And if you're not watching, by the way, Knots going from left to right on your computer screen. Wrexham from right to left. Still waiting for the throw in. Long time. Lots of people are running around. And then we give it away. Tozer's got it. And we've got control. Oh, it's still there. Can Lee get to it? He's got him down in the corner left. Looking to cross. One guy in front of him. One coming to assist. McLean is there. Cross in. Good ball. Dalby. Oh, nicked away from the top of the pole. That was tipped over. It's going to go for a corner from the left side. That was Dalby. A difficult ball to do with anything. It came so flat. Dalby knocked it down with his left. Turned, spun, and by the time he did, the defender, I believe that's Macari, the young guy? No, Baldwin. Baldwin was right there, so it ended up trying to go over top. Didn't make it. That was impressive, both by Lee to get it in. You're exactly right, Stephen. And here comes the left-footed outswinger. Oh, good header away. That was McGoldrick saving that one. And here they come. Jones, man, he is fast. Holy cow, he's fast with the ball as Jones is at a full sprint. That's he did get back, he did cover it, but man, Jones has some wheels on him. 57% possession for Knots as they settle up around the midfield stripe, and we get into the count the passes territory. I'm with you, W&G. And knowing Wrexham's history with playoffs, I don't want to even entertain it. I would like to just get us all up, but I'm not greedy. I don't need 2 back-to-back ships. Gedison, Brazil, welcome. What are we up to? 130 people sitting in the chat. That's a good time. This is usually halftime numbers. We're counting the passes, by the way. Still in the back. It's at the midfield stripe, and now they're starting to come forward. Crowley, gets it back, and he's going to recycle it back to the midfield stripe. So grab your sip of coffee, and we'll do it again. Left side, Jones versus Mendy. Do it again. Jones doesn't like it and turns around and settles it back. Midfield stripe. Knots with possession. Down the right side this time. McGoldrick over there. That was a nice ball. Namani now from the corner. Cross in. A little bit too far. Up. Nope. It's right there. McGoldrick shot. Ogonkwo. Ooh. That makes you nervous because that wasn't an aerial attack. This is what we expect is it's going to be low, flat crosses in. And this one skips past and it gets by everybody. Both teams involved. Jones tries to have a crack, misses it, but he's able to kind of shimmy it out. And McGoldrick's right there. Doesn't probably get exactly what he wants on it. Hey, John, I appreciate it. I will take as many subs as I can get. I appreciate them. Those that have been here from the start, we've got a nice little community going. My mom, who's probably sitting there listening at home and watching her first game on iFollow, is actually really enjoying the fact that this is all happening. And I've got so many people that we're chatting with. 45-year-old guy talking about his mom. What is pretty? It's something I look forward to. Wrexham and the crew. So, Knots with the throw in. They're in their own half. Over to Slocum. 68% possession. And that's about what they are for their seasonal average. And they're just within their middle third, or sorry, in their own third, kicking it around. Turnover. Mullen. Hammer. Missed it. Back heel. Got inside a little bit. And but it was, I would have liked to, if he had Dolby streaming from the right hand side, I would have liked to potentially got it back there. But took a crack. He's your leading scorer. You let him do it. Mendy gets dispossessed. He's all over him though, all over Jones, and so Jones kicks it back. I'll tell you what, 35 years old. McGoldrick's been everywhere. He's all the way back on his left side. Back within the midfield stripe with the center backs. And then earlier he was on the right side when Namani broke down on that last sprint. Nice little pass by Naman. Oh, wow. Tozer's there to clear it, but they are clinical on the attack. And the midfield O'Connor-Evans duo, not really with the answer so far, at least down that right side, which I was worried about the left. Lee is our leading scorer this year. Yeah, we tried to add a second, didn't we? I've been working on teams. Lots going on. New additions every time, though. I thought this was a nice little one with the starting lineups scrolling through to kind of give everybody an idea as to what's going on. Left side into our third ball. That's in. No, Ogonkwo, no. Ooh. That was a miss. Langstaff with a miss. When does that ever happen? That was a long ball in. Beautiful, gorgeous ball by Knotts from the left-hand side. And Macaulay's right there. It gets past Tozer. Right on Macaulay's head from, I don't know, how many feet was that? 20 feet in front? 30 feet in front? And I thought that was going to get dumped in. But no, that's a win for us. 18 minutes. Mark it down. Macaulay miss. Knotts gains possession in their half, send it back to us. O'Connor, put it into soft spot. We're trying to settle it down in the midfield, and we do. O'Connor now, and we get to have a little bit of a kickabout in the back. A novel little thing. Cyprus, that's definitely a new one. We will add it. Looking for somebody from East Timor, because that's the only one I accidentally scratched by mistake on the list. So... need somebody from East Timor so I can justify it being off of the map that Brendan was so kind to provide and ship over while we keep track here. Long ball over. It is what it is long ball from us into the soft spots over to the corner, trying to get possession. It's the strategy's there. The plan is there. Not really connecting as of yet. And that's why we're sitting here at, update the shot meter, 5 shots to 1. O'Connor getting it up. Oh, we've got space. Mullen onside, left side. Can he beat him? No. Wow. Not Baldwin with the takeaway from Mullen there. That was impressive. How close, Steven? Can you see the subscriber button down at the bottom? I'm at 694. And so had a bit of a boost from the video yesterday. I would like to get this one quite high. It's looking projected 3 weeks to a month. I'd like to make it 2 weeks, so hopefully we get a good run today. Tozer, long throw. Lee's right there. Oh, headed it on. And I thought it went Lee, defender out, but that's not what the call is. Yo, Sleazy, welcome. Gonna have to watch this one. Tozer, long throw. Lee headed, and then off of them? Hard to tell. Hard to tell. I just don't know the physics. My kids are too young to be supporters of anything. 4 and 2. But the little one likes sports. My eldest, he's the artistic one of the family at the moment. Music and dance and all those sorts of things. But the young one loves to watch green grass on the TV, which is beautiful, but I don't think he has a team. They will by the end of it. And I'm sure their uncles are going to influence them with they're both English. They've got UK passports, and so I think they're destined to be fans of somebody. Supporters of their mom and dad. I hope so. We're just into Notts County possession in the midfield territory, and they've got it, collected it down. We had an opportunity to gain possession, and we lost it, but Crowley, really impressive touch to be able to knock it down. I will say I'm impressed with their ability to gain possession in tight spaces. Their passing and their first touches are their quality. Their quality. An athletic supporter. Washington, D.C. We've got D.C. Doesn't qualify as a state yet, right? But we do have. I had somebody from D.C. a long time ago because I thought that was an odd one to get. So Notts finally works it up. They're now looking to cross it in. We're just holding our shape as they're passing around the box. There's a ball in and it goes off. It's headed out, and are they going to be able to save it? Yes, Jones is on the left-hand side from rolling out for a corner or for a throw. Nice little cross. Ogonko comes out, grabs it, secure. Away we go. Senior Sofisticado. It's not Man U. It'll be Liverpool or Leeds will be the teams. Maybe the Doncaster Rovers, only because that's hometown. But the family are all Leeds and Liverpool supporters. Ogonko is, and he's going to have to be on. I was impressed. I looked up this stat. Since Ogonko's been on in the 7 games, our goals against is 1.17 goals per 90 minutes. And where does that put us with the rest of the league? 6th. So whether that's the team improving with him there, 37, 38%. Yeah, we're 5% up where we should be. Uh-oh, miss hit. They've got it back. Over to McGoldrick. Well, that was a flop. And did he call a foul? Or he was looking at McGoldrick ended up taking a flop that was blatantly obvious, and the crowd goes nuts. Somebody get me to 700 here. We can have a little bit of a, well, not a drink. One of these. Another Evans bad ball. Uh-oh, 2 guys down. Knott's running right at us now. They've got number everywhere. Can't make up his mind up who to go with. So over to the right side. Slowed it down instead of going fast. And knocked out by O'Connor. It'll come for a corner. At the start, I said 3-2. I'm going to stay with it. We're going to see where we're at. Short corner. Over to it. This is Namain. Gets it past. Nicked away. Are we able to get possession? Oh, we bump bodies. Bah. And Namain takes a dive. That was ugly. That was a whole bunch of ugly from everybody involved over in that corner. Namain with the dive. Us with the giveaway. Then banging into each other. McGoldrick all the way over to the right. Namain. Hammer. Oh, misses it to the left. We got a... Well, another one of our strengths that we're not living up to right now is limiting the number of passes within our own box. And right now, that's not happening. There are lots of passes landing in our box. But this is what I've expected, was them coming after us, and then what I expected is our counter punch. We're not going to get very many shots. We're not going to have a lot of possession, but their back line's just poor. Although I was shown up there a little bit by Baldwin on that last one. Oh, McLean, he's got it. Space, looking for a cross, stops. Nemain, there goes the cross. It's going to go for a corner. Yes, corner from the left side. So it's going to be set piece success, and it's going to be breaking him down defensively that's going to get it done. The counter attack. 150 of you slapped in, following along with the chat. So here we go. It's going to be an outswinger from the left side. Middle. Oh, that was a defensive header that was there. Back into the box. Up into the air again. They're looking to clear, and the main gets it, punts it over, and wow. They are busting out. They've got some pace. Is it just me, or are they the fastest team we've run against as far as like their actual pace? Not the way that they move, not how direct that they go, but when they decide to run with it. McGoldrick against Mendy, turns, gets it up and sweeps. Did he keep it in? That was impressive from Mendy. Two guys on him up against the corner, and he's able to spin away with no space and get it out. And I brought up my thing just to keep track. You'll have to let me know if I slow down too much and I'm getting a little pixelated. I think I am here. And if I am, I can shut it down. Notts County with the ball inside their own third, looking. Well, and Rich, the back three, completely different. When this one came to kick off, I thought this could be a blowout one way or the other. Oh, late challenge. That's got to be a yellow. Just swiped his leg out. And so that's Crawley now on a yellow. Yeah, that was a late one. It got him up high. I thought there was a chance. I'm with you, Stephen, that there was injury. I don't know how to pronounce it, Inwa66, but Tranmere fan, welcome. I'm only 12 seconds behind. See, I haven't done anything, John. That's the fun part about this. So we've got possession now. Looking Mendy, is he able to get there? Cross, does get it up there. Oh! It looked like it was going to go in, and how did Mullen not get to that? Did it hit the bar? Did it hit the post? Like, what happened there? So Mendy, all turn and burn on the right-hand side, beats Jones and goes right straight up into the air, lobs far post. It goes to the far post, and Mullen's there. It looked like it was going to go in. And was it the backspin from the ball that caused that ricochet? Like, it landed on the line and came out. It landed on the line and spun out. Physics. I've hit 701 subs. Well, I'll take it. Did I lose 2 subs? Or is my thing not... Maybe it's just stuck up. It's fine. I will take it. I'm trying to... Do they have raised grass in Meadow Lane? Well done, O'Connor, with the interception. Up over the top, knocked away. Mullen right there for the run, and that would have been amazing. Yeah, I should. What was that? The 28th minute to be able to watch the bounce, the Mendy bounce. I don't understand what happened there. Thank you guys. 700. This is awesome. I'm over 5,000 hours of viewing time. 700 subscribers. I'm actually officially on the Social Blade, which is a social media site that ranks websites and our YouTube channels. And I am the 3,600th biggest YouTube channel in Canada, which is fascinating, and only on the way up. Wrexham with long possession here, turning the meter the over way. We've worked it all the way back. Mendy's dancing down the right side, looks over. Reverse pass, James Jones gets it in. Good ball over to Dalby. He's got it right side, just at the edge of the box, looking for a cross. Jones dancing. Cross up over far post. Lee, can you get it? You know what? It stayed in again. What's up with the grass? Lee's curling shot. Slocum has it. It wasn't at the goal line. Well, it was the goal line extended this time. But it was another one that looked like it was going to go out, and it bounced along the goal line extended just on the edge of the penalty area, and Lee was able to keep it in. I've got to look at it because it was... they've raised the edges of the grounds at Meadow Lane. See you later, 66. Was that Evans in the middle or Tozer? Did Evans get a haircut and lose the flow because it looked like Tozer? Magnetic field activated. That's just it. Fans in the crowd. Everybody with a big breath. Who knows what's going on because the ball just rolling away from the end line. And it is Tozer in the middle. Evans. It was just Mr. Griffith's got the wrong name, which is a rarity. Ogonko is a loan from... Oh, God. Is it Aston? Is it West Brom? I should really know that. Arsenal. Thank you, John. Nemain with it, give and go, and then clipped over by Crawley, and it's going to go for a free kick. We got away with one there because Nemain was, I think, had him beat on the right side if they went back to him. Arsenal, my mistake. Loans are so rare. Well, not rare. We don't have them in North America. So when you end up remembering where they're from, they just become Wrexham. "32nd minute. Should do a shots check here. Interestingly, you see who's going to... I think this is the first time on SofaScore that people are expecting Wrexham to win. Driving forward. Nice. Oh, all that effort, all that work by... But I guess we're going to get a throw. Tozer's running over for the throw-in. McLean does throw it back to him. So that was Cannon busting through and got by about 3 people and then made a play and had McLean over on his left, and it got deflected out, came for a throw. McLean grabbed it and played it back to Tozer. And away we go with continued possession in the back. Tozer, man on him, high press. Here they all come to see if we can crack through the midfield. Mendy over to Cannon and a bad... That's two. Cannon... All that effort down the left side, and then a bad pass gets deflected, kicked out, and here's another one on the right side, and that one nobody touched it. He just punted it out. Outplayed us. I mean, this is par for what we've got. This is the nature of the setup that Parkey set us up with. Is we play direct. We don't maintain possession. We go after it. Knott's is set up to own possession. I will say, Knott's looks... I don't remember them being this crisp with their passing or their first touches. It's their first touches has been amazing. Well done. That's going to be a corner. Or are they going to give a goal kick? Oh, they're going to give a goal kick. I thought that... But Mendy on Jones has been the answer. Jones went blasting down the left side, and Mendy was able to put on the afterburners and catch up to him. There's Cannon again, looking for redemption. He gives it over to McLean. McLean, midfield stripe, down to Lee. Right-footed, searching to try to get it to Mendy. It's missed. Did he touch that? Tozer throw-in? Oh. I'd have to see the replay. Mark's saying that it was touched. It looked like it was touched. Oh, now we got flops all over the place. Whoever was... So that was Mullen. Ended up getting taken down, and while going down... Thanks, Megan. I need a replay. Mullen's going over. It's number 4. No, it's Jody Jones. Mullen. Oh, I don't think there was... So Jones goes to step over top. I don't think he really clipped Mullen. And then Mullen rolls over and Jones flops. So I think this is both of them putting on a show, to be fair. If you're going to give a card, you give it to both. That one, a whole lot of nonsense. And the only person who's going to know is the touch judge who was standing there. But whether there was a clip of the heels onto his back leg. And Jones is sitting there chatting to the ref. No. If anybody made contact, that was Mullen on Jones by the rollover. So there's not in this one either way. Both of them should be a little bit ashamed by this one. Yellow card to both. That's the right call, sorry. I mean, that's the right call. If you either do nothing or you give it to both. I can't defend Mullen on that one, and I can't justify more to Jones for it. Yeah, I don't even know what he didn't even know what he was grabbing. Bobo, I will always take an away point when you're up against a top team in a division, right? Or in a league. And I'm hoping for more. But somebody said we haven't won in Meadow Lane. And if that's accurate, that's amazing. Surprising. Thanks, Adam. Adam. I appreciate it. Long wait for the throw in, by the way. Nothing to talk about here as Jones finally loops it in. And they're just still on their left side, the far side. And long kick to Tozer, and we're able to recover, and away we go. Jason, they sold out. I'm in Canada, by the way, Port Coquitlam, BC. But they sold out immediately, like within the same day. They ordered an extra 15,000 jerseys this year, and they've got another 15,000 coming. Cannon, foul, free kick. Sniper in the crowd. The sniper's doing well. I mean, if Brendan had his flop counter going, he'd be up to like probably no exaggeration, 12, 15. And both sides. Oh, knocked it down, but it goes right to the Notts County player. Long ball over. Okonkwo goes out there and collects. If somebody had the camera going, like that was beautiful. How photogenic was that move over to his right to end up securing the ball there? Beautiful stuff. There we go. Oh, that's right. It was no league game. Thank you, Kim. That's why I asked the questions, because I've got amazingly brilliant people in the chat. Holy Dolby dancing down the left side. It's come back, so nothing to get excited about, but to maintain possession there, he went inside, outside, inside, and passed it away in order to maintain control. The press is on by Notts County. Mendy brings it back. Tozer settling it down. We're sitting at 58-42%. 7 shots to 3 for Notts. Tozer, they're kind of pulled off the press here now. And it's Evans over to Cannon. Cannon, midfield stripe. Jones looping over into the corner. Mullins there. Oh, I don't know what he was trying to do. He turned and crossed, missed hit, drove it into the ground. Notts County has it. And do we get control again? We do. Jones, well done. Jones hammers it. Slow come over to the left. Not quite as much as he wanted on it, I don't think. What site did I get it? I missed what I was missing. No problem, Catherine. Iowa. Do I have Iowa on the list? I think I do. Yeah, I've got Iowa. Had to go back to grade 12 Canadian geography to be able to find Iowa on the map. Good ball down the left. Trouble. Crossed in. It's right there. And not... Crowley on the far post had an opportunity to get his right foot on it. It was probably about 2-3 feet in front of him. But that was dangerous and came out of nowhere. And that's, I guess, what we can anticipate from Knots is when they do decide to go, they go in a hurry. They're searching, and then they run. Yeah, John, all over the pitch, right? I have never noticed the grass in a League Two match. Mendy, lots of space, right side, running towards Jones at the midfield. Mendy passes it, but Jones, wow, Jones just shut that down. Jones is too quick. You've seen him with the ball, and that's the first time, and maybe the only player we've seen who can nullify Mendy's speed, as these two are going to have a battle the whole time. Ogonkwo, all the way down. Dalby jumped over top. That's going to be a foul on us. Yeah, it had to be a foul against us because Dalby jumped at him. This wasn't undercut because the Notts County player came forward. He dove at a 45-degree angle. And so it should have been a play on maybe. I'll take that. But I was when the whistle blew, I knew it wasn't on us. Kate, Eric, nice to have you. I will put up the iFollow. I mean, it's a little bit late for this one. But if you have the opportunity, you have the funds. I know times are tough. 80% of the money goes towards the club, so you can feel like you're giving it up. McLean, a yellow for McLean on that tackle. So the linesman called for that one. Yeah, John, I think the only two hitch steps were the ones early. The handball, Cameron's handball on that one, but that was a card for McLean. He went sliding in there recklessly. Germany. That's Finland, Cyprus, and Germany added to the list. Took us a while to get Germany. That was one of the surprising ones. But I will say I think that's not incompetence, but just a miss by the referee on those calls. But it's going to be a free kick from well out, like 35 yards, right up against the touchline on the right side, the near side for us. 43rd minute. It's been an exciting half. Not a lot of opportunities. I'm trying to think of... Our best scoring opportunity was the Mendy one where the ball rolled out, and I still don't know what happened. Left-footed, swept in. Ogonkwo goes out there and punches that through. Confidence. Beautiful. And I think their best opportunity maybe the Crawley miss that was just happened. If not, McGoldrick maybe with the right footer that I think he mishit and shot it 2-3 feet over. So it hasn't been super close, but there's Jones, gets it back. Knotts is going to take it back to the halfway line and gain control, possession. All the way down, Ogonkwo there. So with the flopping around and the yellow cards and the Mendy injury, what's the prediction for extra time? 6? Ogonkwo looking to search. 192. We're going to end up breaking the record for most viewers. Bounces the Ogonkwo ball. Now it's landed. It's over to McLean, left side. 3 guys standing in front of him. Draws it back to Lee. Going to do a switch cannon all the way back to the midfield for O'Connor, and we're going to switch it all the way around. Tozer with it, looking. We're going to go back to the left. Lee, midfield stripe. Lee, that's a good ball forward. Oh, McLean can't quite... over into the corner. And it's going to be a Tozer throw from the left side. Did I just hear 4 minutes, is it? I mean, I'll take it. 4 minutes of added time. So Tozer throw. Yeah, 5-6, 5-6. That's what I thought it was going to be. 4, here comes the throw. Up, over, near post. Oh, it was touched. Dalby touched it over to the far post, but Mullen not able to get to it. So Mullen's got it over on the right. Crossed up and over. Dangerous. Lee, header. Oh, good save by Slocum. Yikes, that was. Mark that one down. 1 minute into injury time. 45 plus 1. Lee, it was a long, blooping header, but it looked like it was one of those ones that was going to get up over top, and he just jumping up there and stretching as far as he can. Going to be an in-swinger now from the right side by McLean. I think both teams will be frustrated. We don't like to give up that one. I did wake up the kids. Slocum punches it out. Evans grabs it now. We're going to have possession then on our left side. Lee looks to Cannon, doesn't take it, gets it all the way back, and here's Evans. Lots of time. Right side. Everybody lifting up. McLean's over on that side. Swing ball, no, cleared away. Lots of pressure still. Evans with it, looking back into the corner. Really good ball. McLean's all there by himself. Oh, he flipped. A foul? Jones with the flop. That was a corner. That was a corner. McLean knocks it down. Knocks it down. Oh, and Jones just makes a meal out of it with the dive forward and gets the. That wasn't a foul. Well, if that would have been a second yellow for diving, and that would have been Jones getting a red for flopping around. That would be a bold move in the first half. I mean, is it one that you should circle? Maybe, but he bought it. If yikes. Yikes. Well, Jones is up twice now for the flop. Once it didn't work, he got a yellow, and once it worked, and he pulled away a corner. Oh, is that going to be a corner? Yes, he did. Unfortunate for Mendy. Bad first touch. Ended up pushing it towards the goal line, and it's going to be a goal kick here with 3 minutes. Let's have a look. Far post, it's there. McLean's able to get it, and it goes in behind. And that was Langstaff that was there, so well defended. When's Harry Kane coming on? Short ball, Langstaff. See, they know they're not good with the ball, with the aerial ball so much that they're willing to just do short corners because this is where they're clinical. This is where they're dangerous, is the passes through the box. Fed out, right side. Naman, great ball. Oh, boy. Here it is. Crossed in front. Nice little touch there. It's hammered. Oh, just wide. Whew. Ogonkwo's been solid. He is super confident. And he's cleared his line well. He's been positionally there. This one, Jones just hit that one. That one was a nightmare. That deserved to go in. That's two, I guess, in the making. Crawley with the one off target to the right. Jones here off to the right. Yikes. There's the whistle. We're at the half. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to hang around. That was a good 0-0 half. Yikes. Take some deep breath. Fill up my coffee. The broadcasters, it's like watching a game of tennis with the ball going back and forth. W&G with the halftime. God, I need to pay you in beer or something, W&G. So the second half. Interesting, if you want to talk about the April game, Fearless in Devotion, what was his... Rich Fave from Rob Ryan Red, it was, sorry, was talking about the match in April on a Notts County Talk, which is a podcast for Notts County. And he was saying that he thought that the Notts County goal in the April game in the first half might have actually woke up Wrexham and then led us to the charge, which is what we normally do, is the late goals. And he said he wasn't as confident at a 0-0 scoreline going into the half that it would have been that Wrexham would have come out with the result that we did, which I think is fascinating. So Crew and Mansfield both leading. Yeah, we've got Maryland, DC scratched off the list. I can bring up the States one while we're at the halftime if anybody wants to have a look. Snack time during the half. Yeah, Andrew, that's exactly right. I mean, this is what was scripted. As much as I had a lot of Notts County fans coming into my channel talking about the uselessness of stats and how I'm a stupid Canadian who doesn't know anything, it's come pretty much exactly as was anticipated and expected, I think. I guess the only shock for me maybe is I expected more down the left side, where Notts has been fair. I think their attack has been equal left and right side. Got the Carolinas. I'm hoping that I updated this list. I think I did. It's getting to the point now with the US and Canada that I should probably just do the inverse, and these are the ones that we do not have, and list those. Best players so far? That's a really good question. O'Connor's been good with down as our left back in the line. Mendy's had really good plays and really questionable ones with some turnover. Haven't had anything up front that's really irked me. Lee, I guess, would be the guy, but it's always Lee. Mike, I don't remember who was from North Dakota at the time. I should have wrote that one up. Yeah, got Australia. Australia, like Canada and the US, is Wrexham mad. So I think the only reason we don't have them there is, yeah, Sandy, you're biased. McLean's looked dangerous too. You know what? I don't think, other than Cannon's looked really solid away from the ball, and he's been able to nick some possession. He's looked very poor in his passing. But other than that, there's nobody who's really looked out of place. Mendy went down on that play when McGoldrick came over, but that was injury-based and allowed for that opportunity early on. What was that, 3 minutes in? Yeah. What's interesting to me is by taking out Hayden and Boyle and our height for our headers is our Tozer throw-ins and our crosses aren't nearly as effective. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I think Palmer is healthy. Minnesota joined today. Thank you for that one. I may have to look, the chat scrolling a little quick. I may have to look at shrinking down things later on to allow the chat to actually stay in the chat for longer. And this did happen before. I could look for my spreadsheet again, but there was one other year where the two teams went up consecutive years in the last 20. We can maybe make that a trivia question, and hopefully I'm right, and maybe I'll find an answer for it after. Mullen did a podcast. It was a non-Wrexham related podcast where he was talking about his injury, and he feels as though he's now ready to go, and no lingering injuries. So 0-0, 0-0. The other one I got bollocked for was offense, defense. More for offense. I guess I'm supposed to call it on attack. I don't know. Floridians, Texans. I'm trying to remember who I'm missing too from the provinces. I think there's only 4 provinces I have left to go and get from. I'm just going to bring them up, and for those Canadians, I'm from Saskatchewan, and I will say the one thing that bothers me is there's a lot of people from my hometown that know that I'm doing this. A bunch of people, guys I went to university with, who love sport, and not a single one of them has logged in. And how do I know? Is because as soon as they do, Saskatchewan comes off the list, but it's still there. The Leon Roberts injustice. Yeah, I can talk about that. I was debating doing another video, but let's talk about it. if you're curious, the terms of service that you go to for all of the EFL clubs end up saying three things. You're not allowed to bring in recording devices. If you do record, that you transfer the copyright immediately to the other side with some obligations, and that the punishment could be bans. So that's an EFL mandate, and I'm assuming that it comes from the contract that they have with Sky. It is what it is. I don't necessarily have a problem with the legalities of it. What I have a problem with the EFL, Sky, and Wrexham as to how they're A, enforcing it, and B, the reason for it. Because if you guys are with me, I fell in love with the team because of the documentary, clearly. I'm willing to admit that. I was looking for a club to follow, and I well, but should he be allowed? Look, they've set the mandate that he and Jebo are the two that I've heard of that are not allowed to record. I've never heard that from any other, and there are other Wrexham vloggers that are out there. I haven't heard of anybody else getting a letter. I haven't heard of anybody else from any other club getting a letter. And so the question that I have is to the EFL and Sky Bet is, I get that you want to protect your investment. You don't want people sitting and showing up with the camera and holding it up there and screening and streaming the entirety of the match and the pitch. I get that, fair. But the odd vlog video that comes out is free marketing. And what it did for me is it encourages you to get involved in the club further, because you're like, that's what it's like in the crowd. That's what it's like to join the stadium. It is a fan promoting the excitement of being a fan. So it encourages you to go into the game. It encourages you to pay the money for iFollow, high for many of us that are doing that are getting pulled in. And so I think the EFL and Sky are idiots. Full stop. Because you have a product that you want to make available to and attractive, not available, because if it's too available, it's a public good, you lose your revenue, but attractive. And vlogging is not taking away from, it's improving the profile. So it makes absolutely zero sense. I will say with Wrexham, a little bit of, I don't know if I want to call it constructive criticism or straight up, you guys screwed this up, and I'm close to doing it either way, is the nature of that correspondence could have been far better. And the fact that it was aggressive in tone tends to send the message that Wrexham was involved in the reason behind this and the push to enforce. And if that's the case, that's frustrating. Because I haven't heard, I spent an hour and a half going through YouTube channels and trying to find somebody else talking about, whether on Twitter or on their YouTube channel, about being banned, given a letter. So this isn't an EFL-wide mandate, as far as I can tell. They do have the same leagues in the national leagues. How do I know? Is because Stockport County didn't update their terms of service. They still assign everything that's recorded to the National League. Yeah, Michael, I'm not a compliance guy. I'm a lawyer. I would write those letters if they were necessary, but you also have to talk to your client and say, what do you want the tone of this correspondence to be? And the fact that they were aggressive wasn't hey, we're just enforcing this because EFL's coming down on us. There are larger YouTube vlogging channels than Liam. He's clearly the best and most famous, popular of the Wrexham vloggers, and they're great. They're a reason why I'm here, and they're gone. It's shameful. It's disgusting. It could be Wrexham. I don't know if it wasn't, I would have anticipated that the language on the letters would have been different. It would have intimated that they're obligated to enforce or something, because that sends the message. I'm here because even the BBC can't cover the game on the radio. Article 48 and the nonsense of English football in being able to promote its product. Like, do you not want people to realize how fun it is in a stadium? All the excitement that goes on, the drama, the smells, all that sort of stuff, and you're taking it away? I know, hard to get through that on the radio. Hey, a couple of other things. 100% going to be on for the women's game tomorrow. And I just got word from the Welsh Bee, so I'm going to make it 99%. He and I are going to do something tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific, I think is about the time. I'll get that updated and confirm, which you guys go back. In the UK, you go back for daylight savings today. We don't. We do it next week. So it's the time difference is a little bit, I think it's shorter for 1 week, down to 7 hours for me. But we're going to do a podcasty type live thing through Restream where we're going to have the live chat. We're going to talk just all things Wrexham. We can have this chat about the Liam situation. I agree, Michael. I hope he does continue going and continue building and finding a way and a niche to keep doing things. But it's like me. I put other videos out there. And some of them are really, really big. Like the 20 million pound turnover one is my most viewed video of all time. But I drive my subscribers. This number that's down below and down there, that number goes up during the watch party by exponentially faster. I got 85 subscribers last time. I'm only at 20. So here's your hint. If you're listening to me, hit the subscribe button and drive that thing up more. But he got a lot of subscribers because of the vlogs. And now Sharon says some channels disappeared. So maybe there is a crackdown somewhere else. I haven't seen anything anywhere. Yeah. You know what, John, as a lawyer, they can't enforce out there. The university side, maybe, because that's private property. And if the university says we're not going to allow you to do it, that's fine. But Wrexham can only control what happens on its property. And if it's like Canada, the sidewalk next to Mold Road is not their property. The turf and towards the Macron stand, maybe that's their property, but they can't speak for the university. So unless the university is going to step up, if I was him, and I believe he sits in the tech end, record away, they can't come through. Yeah, and that's part of whoever drafted that. I'm assuming Canadian law is the same in the UK, and that you have public right of ways and you're allowed to record in public. But it's public property, and John says the same thing. The university is going to be private property, potentially. There's probably a disputed area there. Is it a public or is it private? But in any respect, it's the university that will dictate what happens there. So unless the university parking lot and the area over there is part of the freehold, Wrexham cannot express its will. And Andrew, I get that streaming the actual game is garbage, and that has to get wrist slapped. But this is after the game, and what's it promoting? The utility is it's promoting the experience in the stadium as the players just came out to start warm-ups a little early, it seems. Game about to restart. It's not in his contract. The contract is a terms of service contract, so I guess it is a unilateral contract there by accepting the terms and conditions of entering into the stadium. But it defines the grounds as the stadium, and that's what the freehold owns. And so he's allowed to. I'm of the opinion. This is not legal advice to Liam or whoever else. If you're going to record, go and see a lawyer first. But when I show up, I'm recording in the parking lot. I'll tell you that much. Oh, I didn't update here. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Give me time to reset. I got talking about stuff so much I'm behind. Come on, you pies, and now I'm hungry. The mass scoreboard scramble. Well, because I'm not a lawyer, and I would get into trouble if I ended up giving him bad advice. If it was in Canada, I would definitely help him out. And I'd be telling him, record on the grounds, and if you want to get sued, and if you don't. But I would welcome them to. I'm going to record on the grounds, or not on the grounds, on the parking lot, And if somebody was to come at me, I'll give them my address for service because I'm interested in watching that. Anyways, we're back in. We're 26 seconds have clicked away here. I'm a little bit behind with where I'm at myself with the game, so we'll move that forward. And Knots now going from right to left on your computer screen. Wrexham from left to right. Interesting. Knots ran into Cannon and free kick the other way. I don't quite understand that one. English football shoots itself in the foot. There's that, and there's the whole iFollow thing. Why, when I wanted to watch the Tranmere Knots game a couple weeks ago, did I have to pay one of those clubs? But anyways, we've nicked the ball back. McGoldrick trying to take it from O'Connor, and you know what? Composure from O'Connor getting it back. Long left ball. There's just not the right idea. How many times I've heard the good idea, the right idea in my headset? Too many times. Yeah, Catherine, I get that. I hope the cop gets built soon. It's a good problem to have. But I do get the challenge of getting the tickets and how tough it can be and the frustration of that. And especially when you can't get tickets, you get disconnected from the club, right? You don't get to go and live the experience. All the fun's at a live game. I mean, I would rather be in the stadium than... I love you guys. I think you're awesome. But I'd rather be in the stadium. So the game is on Hulu on the 4th? That's the FA Cup. So you have to remember there's 3 competitions, Tattoo. You've got, 4, I guess. There's the FA Trophy, or the EFL Trophy, EFL Cup, the FA Cup, and the League. They all have different rights as to who owns them. And so iFollow cannot show the FA Cup. It can only be shown if it's on TV. And last I heard, the Wrexham game wasn't on TV. So I was expecting that to be a listening party, but had to investigate. Long ball, Tozer thrown in. Foul given against us. A lot of ticky-tack fouls going against us, and none of those ticky-tack fouls going the other way. The attack momentum looking to be fairly equal both ways. Knots dominating early on. We had a long stretch in the middle of the half before they pushed back. We're up to 5 yellow cards so far. McLean, Mullen, and Jones for us. Jones and Crawley for them. Yeah, 50,000 might be a little much, but I like the optimism. Okonkwo with the ball over to Evans. Long ball over top. Cameron's get to it. Flips it over. Jones with a back flip over his head, and then dives and gets this expletive Jody Jones. Stand on your expletive feet. Like, great skill there. He gets the play. That's on him. He tips it up over his head and loses possession, and then he takes the flop. And was there a little bit of contact? Yes, but it didn't influence the play, and he milked the hell out of it. Go and F yourself. It's just, I'm sick of it. That's 3:48th minute. I'm going to write down the brutal Jody Jones dives, and that's the third one. The wind blows, and the man falls over. I'm on iFollow. I'll bring that up again. It's the only one that I promote is iFollow, because 80% of the revenue that's generated goes to the club, and I'm all for. This is why we're here. I'm here. I want the club, as a fan, and the owners to have some support. Yeah, John, that one. My inner Canadian. Yeah. Fighting all urges. That's what Canadians do. If you didn't know, we're angry just like everybody else, but this time of year what we do is we have a very big get-together gathering where we meet up with all of the Canadian goose and we channel our anger into them in a big ceremony every year. And the Canadian geese then feel that rage, and that's why we call them Cobra chickens. We've passed on the rage. McGoldrick knocked it out. Right side, not funny. Love it when I get feisty. So that's why you don't fight with the Canadian geese. They're full of Canadian fear. Evans, long throw down the right side, flicked on by Dalby. Lee trying to get it nicked away. Cameron was able to clear it up, but Cannon grabs it. Over to Dalby, back to Cannon, switch to the other side. I love everything about Cannon's game today except those passes. A poutine party, that's what follows. We're exhausted after we channel all our anger into the geese, and so we all feast on poutine and maple syrup. Not together. Left side, Wrexham's still in control with some possession. You don't mess with the Canadian geese. They're scary. They're more scarier to me than a black bear. I expect wounds from geese more than I do a black bear, and I'm not lying. That's not hyperbole. Maybe not in the springtime. Left-sided throw-in is Tozer going for it. He's looking. Tozer's coming. McLean's going to leave the ball for him. Brendan, I think you just had a bad one. I think we're going to have to go to Montreal and get you a smoked meat poutine. With the fake from Tozer that he was going to throw it back, and he doesn't. Here comes the long throw then from the left side. Short post. Headed away by McGoldrick, who's there. And see, this is the issue, is the Tozer and corner are nullified with no Hayden and no Boyle. So, Walsall with the equalizer. Interesting stuff. The English Swans either. Interesting. I didn't know that they had that same level of fear. Snowboard, hold my beer. Throw in for us, midfield stripe. I got to look at the possession stats because it feels like we've had the ball for an extended period here. 42-58% is what I'm getting from SofaScore. Oh no, giveaway. 2-on-1. McGoldrick's moving over to the box. Cross blocked away for a corner. Oh, what didn't go for a corner? Ogunquo got over there. I didn't even see it. I just assumed that there was no way that was going over there. How the hell did Ogunquo get over there that fast? Replay. Odd that. So that was a good play by Tozer in defense, able to get a heel on it. I assumed it was going to go out, but no, it didn't go out. That was a trick of the camera angle, and it rolled right into his hands. So I thought it was going straight perpendicular from where he hit it. Evans with possession, up long ball to the midfield stripe, Knotts with the header, and they're going to control it. And this is Cameron, left-hand side, running it. Evans knocks it back. Well done by Tozer. Blocks it down. Ogunquo comes, collects, and thank you very much. You know what? Those plays, you just feel those crosses that Ogunquo is going to come and help. Now we've got an opportunity. Cannon make a good pass, and he just chinches it off, and that's probably the right thing. McLean, left side, over with Lee. Lee slowing it down. Back to Cannon. We're all standing together. Shape has been formed by Knott, so we're going to have to work our way in here. Dalby, a nice little touch to McLean, left side, edge of the penalty area. Flicks it. Missed the pass to Dalby by about a foot two. Oh, one back. Knott's. Don't call that flop. Flop. Ball's away and takes the dive. There's no contact. I love it, John, and I will take more subs for everybody that's here. We're trying to push this to 1,000. We're on the path, trying to get there. 53-41. I'm going to put together a nice little video after this one of all the beautiful flops that are happening. I'll take fourth and a draw. I'm happy to take fourth and a draw. And then another flop, 54. Oh, did he give us? Man, the flops. Straight red for a flop. Canadian rules. North American rules, because I know that Brendan's going to say the same thing, right? It's not a lot of tolerance for this flop garbage. The only flop that we will allow is in basketball when you step up for a charge, but that's not a flop because you're taking some big guy driving you right through the chest. Lee, he's got it, edge of the area. Oh, volley and well blocked. Well blocked because Lee thumped that one. Mendy down the right side, taking on Jones. Poor touch, and Jones smart enough to sweep in there. Evans, not up high enough. Oh, it's there, Dalby! Oh, no. Put it right to the middle. He got it right to Slocum, right in his breadbasket. He had both sides to go to. He had space all the time, just not clinical enough. He shouldn't have missed. But I'm liking the pressure. We've got pressure again. Another flop. Farfanugan. They know that if they dive, they're going to get they're going to get a foul, and they're hitting the ground and they're getting the foul. Well done by Mullen. Second time he's done that, pushing Slocum, and Slocum's pumped the ball out and down the left, and now he's angry and good stuff. I like that. If that was Mullen, that was a goal. If that was Fletcher, that was a goal. If that was Palmer, probably a goal. Palmer started last season, that was a goal. Knotts gets possession. They've come in lots of space between our midfield. They get it up to McGoldrick, a corner of the box, looking. He's got an overlap to the left, takes it. Mendy goes over there. Jones gets it in. Okonkwo, little bit of a scary punch away, and he kind of blocked it and it went over. I think he crossed up his feet a little bit on the transfer over. So it'll be a corner from the right side. We are up to 198 people. I think I've got 20 subs, so the other 170 of you who are watching, I'm looking at you. I will threaten to show some leg. Ball comes into the corner. Evans knocks it down and just thumps it down the field. I will threaten that I will show leg unless you increase that number. Hit the subscribe button and bump that up. Nobody wants to see my legs, that's for sure. Tranmere with a red. Osmond, both teams are threatening. So yeah, I think that there's opportunity here for both. And it seems to come in about 10, 15-minute segments. We've had it for the first 10 of the half, and now it's been Knotts coming the other way. McGoldrick, middle of the pitch, just at 25 yards out, over to the right. Nemain over there. O'Connor, beautiful. O'Connor on the ground, taking things away, and 4 people racing to avoid me having to show my legs. 60-minute subs are desperately needed. Nemain punches it too far. It's going to go for a goal kick. Okonkwo with the little cheeky kick as though he was going to play it. That always makes me nervous, because if you do touch it, you look like an absolute homer, and usually the football gods punish you for stuff like that. So Okonkwo setting it up 57-36. I'm a little bit behind as to where I am, so I'll bump my clock up. There we go. Now we're on track. Right foot, long ball. Dalby there. Notts County knocks it down, comes the other way. McGoldrick, he's got free. Tozer over there. Oh, Tozer, well done. Oh, but it gets nicked back. So Tozer gets it left field side, but now we're back in shape. So that was the benefit of Tozer's play. Mendy slaves it when Jones nutmegs. You don't want Tozer against Jones on the in space on the left side. Throw in McGoldrick, back to the middle. Back over to the right now. Switches on Nemain. Edge of the box. Right-footed cross. No, he's going to walk right into the corner of the box. Gets it to Crowley. Crowley back to Nemain. Nemain off of McLean's butt. Back out. McLean off of his butt. He's going to have a sore one. Can't call it squeaky butt time. Got to come up with another name. 2 butt shots. They collect it. Now back to Nemain. We'll see if we get 3 for 3 in a row here. No, Nemain gets it back to... Is that Cameron? Well done. Dalby chasing it down. Cannon with the tackle. Dalby pumps it ahead, goes down, and gets it a little bit too far. Oh, poor touch, and we're going to get a free throw and free possession. Let's go. Come on, Wrexham, let's get into this now. 60th minute, we feel this is the Wrexham rise. Is that what we call it? Near the end of the game, and you start to feel that confidence start to build a little bit. 207 people joining. The watch party rises at the same time. 60th minute, we'll start to watch Wrexham. Is that what goes on? Orion, if you're not watching, go sit on the bog. Somebody always scores when somebody's in the bog. Midfield. Oh, poor pass, but he gets it back. Driving forward. Playing advantage is the ref, but takes it away. Cannon. I've loved his game. Just no passes, please. Cross. Right there. Oh, you thought it... Who was that thought that somebody was there, and I think that they laid off and didn't play it? O'Connor with the tackle. You know what? O'Connor for man of the match. There's been like 2-3 amazing tackles and some ground duels. One that he just looked too sexy in the back. Oh, Mullen with the cross into the box. Dalby not able to play it. I think that was Dalby. And I'm going to have to watch that again. 59th minute, but it came into the box. It was crossed in. And Dalby was maybe 2 feet behind it and let the ball roll there, and he kind of went, oh no. Can I check my clock? I'm on with where I'm at. Other than the scoreboard, the shots total's correct, 8-7. The score is correct, 0-0. And the time is where I'm watching it. Sometimes I fall behind because of just the restreaming process. It comes from my computer out to Restream, and they send it out to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And it takes some time. Hugh just woke up. Welcome. Knots with the ball, by the way, possession to them. Should check. It has been some time since I've got an update on the attack moment, or on the update on the stats. I mean, Jones cross in, dangerous, too far, goes too far, but Nemain is there. Nemain up against McLean on the right side, over the edge of the area. Jones there, chipped in. McGoldrick can't get to it because Tozer thumped it away. Bicycle clearance from McLean. Oh, miscontrolled. He kind of tripped over the ball. Cannon now pushing forward. Mullen on the right with space. Found him. Nice pass from Cannon. Give him credit when he does it. Cross over to Dalby on the edge of the box. Knocked down. Pulled back. Lee! Oh! Slocum with the save. Slocum with the save. Damn it. Brilliant. I want to see how far away, back out, and just pounded by Lee, and Slocum able to get up there and get to it. So 62nd minute, write that one down. Slocum save. So we'll get to a corner. Going to be an in-swinger from the right. My audio is breaking up. Check, check, check. Headed away. Comes to the edge of the area, just battles everybody all over the place. Lee right there, edge of the area. It squeaked out to Lee. Into the penalty area. Flip over. Mullen shot. Ball loose. Oh, just hit Slocum. That was a positional save. Was just standing there and literally just hit him. It literally just hit him. Lee flip up over. Hits Mullen, bounces down for Dalby. Dalby thumps it away, and it just... anywhere else that he kicks it, it's a goal. Anywhere else he kicks it, it's a goal. And something's given to Notts County. A Notts County player fell on the floor, 63rd minute, flop. So I guess it wouldn't have been a goal because he would have said that somebody from Wrexham committed a foul there. I don't know. McGoldrick with it. Plays it back. Cameron over to the left. He's got space to run and he takes it. He's got Jones to the left. Drops it off for him into our third now. And they pull it back and draw it back. Techie, can somebody else tell me are you guys getting audio anywhere else? I think I may have bumped the cord for a brief moment in time, and I think I fixed it. That's a flop from Jones. If they would have called that one. Jones again, 64th minute with the flop. Give him a yellow. Send him out. Jody Jones is tissue paper. Oh, that's... Rich says audio's bad. I'm getting it all over the place. So if I'm going to get some that say good, some that say bad, I'm going to say it's probably good. Catherine says she needs closed captioning. Midfield stripe. Macari swapping it back over to Cameron. I hope that's true, Coops, but the world's greatest would be some kind of feat. Edge of the box now. Nemain with it. Coming forward. Found a body. It's into the... Misses two... Whoa. Two people just behind them. McGoldrick being the second one. It goes out. Mendy pushes it out. Knocks it out. It's going to go for a corner. And then I'm going to call the... 65, Jones foul Tozer, but not called. That was the exact same. Tozer's down on the ground, and the referee's shrugging, saying, I didn't see what happened. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing he's been calling against us on 5 or 6 occasions, is after the ball is gone, Tozer gets bumped into. That wasn't a flop. Tozer gets run into in the back of his right leg, goes to ground, no call. Sharon, no problem. I will scream goal, 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 goal over and over. That was a test. That didn't happen. So they've brought it back. They're walking towards the midfield stripe as we hold our shape just outside the box. Nemain's got it now. Right side, chipped up over, played back, but the ball was a little bit too far right. Flowed back again, blasted. Ogonkwo, whoop, easy catch. It was smashed, but Ogonkwo just pulling it in. But then he kicks it out of play, so more possession coming the other way. $173 watching. 187. I was up to 203. So somebody, I threatened to subscribe or I'll show my legs, and it cost me 20 people. First sub, Austin comes in. I didn't see who went out. I'll have to catch that later. Are they swapping Jones over to the other side? Nemain comes in for Austin. Or sorry, Austin comes in for Nemain. Slocum with it, right side. Looking for those subs. Don't want to leave it too late. Good stuff, M. Knott's approaching the left field stripe. Over to Jody Jones. Jones staring at Mendy. Goes left. Mendy with him. McLean comes over. Is that McLean? No, Cannon. Sorry, over to help. I was like, McLean makes no sense for him to be over there. Cameron midfield. They'll knock it back. A little bit of possession control here. Switch over to the right. Still sitting in the midfield looking to try to break the shape down of Wrexham. Possession numbers getting a boost now up to 59% for Notts County as they found a bit of a gap through the middle here. It's into the midfield area. Nope, pull it back and draw it on back again. Chris knows something that we don't, and so he's either way ahead or he's just having a laugh. Nemain went out. Austin came in, so Austin's now down the right side. That looks like a deflection. Does Ogonko get there? No, it'll go for a corner. So short corner coming, and we're going to go out and actually defend it. Three players out to mark a short corner. Awesome stuff. So it ends up being played all the way out from a corner into the front, and now they've got it. Langstaff with the ball, not the guy you want with it. Turning, he's got space, flips it. Oof. That was in tight space, really quick turning with no swing of the back leg. Ends up getting it right up into the top corner and just missed. That was impressive. You couldn't have defended that any better, I don't think, than Evans did. And that was close. Just swung it up there. 10 shots, 6 on goal there. 10 shots, 4 on goal. Corner kicks are 6-5 them, which I find surprising. Fouls are 12-1. 12-1. We've taken the ball left field, left side, left field. It's baseball. World Series is on. Back heel, missed it. It's McLean was frustrated with that one. That was Cannon again, sorry. Cannon, I love the charge. Palmer coming in, Dalby coming off. I love the charge. I don't know. I would have liked a Fletcher. I've got Palmer down on my depth chart, and I know that that's going to offend some people. But well, let's see what Palmer can do here. Coming in is the super sub. Cannon, somebody's got to come in for Cannon. Great initiative, great defensively, great tackling, but every time we've had a chance to go forward, he's either let us down with the passes or he's made the pass, but it's been a safe one that's killed the momentum as we've been pushing forward. Yeah, I'll take Davis over Cannon like yesterday. But we're at the 70th minute mark. We need the subs in, and Davis is exactly what we need for Cannon. So Jones down the left side. McGoldrick, lots of space. He's outmet. Long cross over. First time, pulled down, edge of the area. Hammered right foot. Misses. Way off target. Over to the left. All connection here from Notts County as they're pushing forward. I would love to see those subs come in. Looking for Jordy. Yep, looking for Jordy. Not as high. So on the depth chart is rank your strikers or positional players from every position. And so for us, Mullins at the top. The question is who do you have second? I'd put Fletcher. Third, I'd put Dalby. Palmer, I put fourth. I know I'm probably in the minority there. Hey, we got a foul call. And McGoldrick's complaining about it. I think there was a head knock on Evans. 71st minute. That's an example of what we have to get for a... I'm going to sneeze. 1 second. I hope it's just the one. Long ball from Ogonkwo down. Knotts gets their head on it, but we're able to control it. Approaching Lee, left side. McLean to his left. Does he give it to him? No. Turns inside. Now out to McLean. McLean looking over to the left. Tries to get the cross. Takes a deflection. We'll get a corner from the left-hand side. An out swinger. John, I can't say that's not without reason. He's been impressive. So raise Fletcher over Palmer. I'm glad I'm not the only one. How could I do Palmer dirty like that? I got it, David. I know people love him. And I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he hasn't... The finish for me is just frustrating. And I don't know. I've got my reasons. But if bringing in Palmer instead of Fletcher is frustrating to me. Here comes the kick. It's in. It's dangerous, but only Notts players around. So it's knocked back down by Cannon over to McLean. Cannon now with it. Gets it over to Lee, edge of the area. Over to the right. Over to the right. Keep going. Kicked. Oh, deflection. Goal! 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 Yes! Yes! Woo! Played that one beautiful. That was a pinball wizard. Lee hammers that one. We've got a Wrexham player laying on the ground, and I don't know who it was. Hits him in the shoulder and rolls up over top and goes into the goal. Who was that was laying in the middle? Lee, this looked like another goal that we've seen earlier this year, just pushing the ball over. It middle hits it to the left. Still can't tell from the replay. Looks like it was Palmer on the ground. Baldwin's at the edge. That was, well, what game was that where Lee pulled the exact same thing, where he drove off, went left, and just kept running in front of box until he found the space, and then he hammered it. Beauty! Beauty! Let's go. Holy! And I'm doing that intentionally. That was amazing. Who was it? Palmer? John saying it was Palmer laying on the ground. All that stuff I said about Palmer, about not having any finish and no touch. Perfect touch there from Palmer. Holy, I am sweating. I gotta turn the heat down in this place. That was let's go. 74th minute now. Squeaky bum time. Trying to hold on. Give it away. Lee with it. No, now he gets swiped out at the back and no foul the other way. Ball over the top. Is it gonna go for a throw? No, the grass keeps it in. The grass keeps it in, and it's a giveaway. 74th minute. We're out of it. McGoldrick hammers it. Great save, Ogonkwo. Great save, Ogonkwo. Holy. Right from the edge of the area in the D. No, he was right up to the edge of the penalty box. Full, open, right. Ogonkwo over, gets to it. Give that guy a donut. Give him everything. God. Notts now putting the pressure on. Big one in. Guess who's there? Ogonkwo. I changed the score. Oh, I changed the score. Not scored. Because I'm used to. I got into trouble. I got in trouble a couple of games ago. My apologies. About home team supposed to be on the left, visiting team on the right. Wasn't even on the box. I apologize, and I'm so used to going over to the left. Mullins there, edge of the area. He's got Palmer. He's there. Palmer, get to it. Right kick. Goal! Goal! We're up 2, baby. Palmer proving me wrong. Make me look stupid. Make me look bad. I love it. Woo! Mullen had it. Gives him the little kick to the right, and you can see the defender try to get there, and Palmer running for it to see who could get there first. Palmer, right foot, swings it back over to the left. I am going to eat my words. And they taste delicious, like sweet, wonderful poutine. Whew! Right, and it was a nutmeg. He was actually there. Didn't have much space to get it in there. I will get the score right this time. The defense cracked. Lots of time left. Whew! Hey, to celebrate, hit the subscribe button. We're having a good time. We're up to 240. Let's get this thing rolling. One more and we move up to second? Well, let's get into it. Let's get greedy. John, sorry. I'm going to bring the poutine up every time. Smothering them is what we're doing, like delicious cheese curds and gravy. And they can't handle it. Eventually we fill the gaps and they can't hold it. Adrian, I will make that my solemn promise to talk smack about Palmer every week if this is going to be what happens when I do. Yes, Catherine, no letdown, and here we go. Knotts has it, 77th minute, midfield stripe. Knotts County with it. You got to go watch it on iFollow. It's the only way you can watch league matches is through iFollow. 80% of the money goes to Wrexham, so get into it. And I'm talking about this because Knotts has finally just crossed the midfield stripe. It'll be interesting to see what they look like with a little bit of giddy up. Normally lots of control, and I imagine they're going to be pushing, and here they go just running at us all the way up. Lee misses the tackle. Lee's there, pushes. He's still got it. Crowley's strong on the ball. For a team that falls over as much as they do, I'm impressed he was able to withstand those challenges. But we take possession, and here we go down the left side. Dalby leaves it for Palmer. Plays it back. We've got possession, but presses on. Evans, knocked down. You got to call that one. McGoldrick takes us out. Slowing it down. Brendan, I hope he does. I would if he actually knows who I am. I would take it. 16,083 show up. 2,800 of them Wrexham supporters. So Kip is the lucky charm today. Kip going to the bathroom. We're going to score 6 more. 2-8-6-3. The fans, like, it's echoing. Everywhere we go. God, this is, how good are weekends like when this is what starts it off? No, that was 1683 is what I heard, yes. Which I'm surprised. They fit, what, 20K or just shy of? I thought it was a sellout. And in fact, I heard it was a sellout. So we're going to have a free kick here as a result of the challenge. And so McLean's lined up. We're, 30 yards out? So it's probably going to be flicked into the box. One-man wall, flicked into the box. Long ball, but just went too far, but it was touched. So we're going to get McLean's going to run to the right side and take his time getting there. And we're going to get a left-footed in-swinger from the right side. All right. So are we going to do a short one? No. All the way out. Pushed. Knocked away. Headed away. Don't know exactly who got onto that one, but we've gained possession, and now we've got it towards our midfield stripe. How much added time? I'm going to go with 4 minutes in this one. We're in the box. O'Connor, a little fortuitous. He was hopeful. He was hopeful there with that header. Doesn't quite get there. Yeah, I'm going to go 4 minutes for the added time so far, barring anything happening. Nobody's been flopping around. Slocum with another ball straight out, giving away possession. That's 3 times that he's been challenged and he gets nervous. Giving him the yips. Throw in over to Palmer, giving it to him to stick to him, but the ball goes too far. How do you not call that a foul? He's like into his face, then it sweeps his legs out. The broadcasters are asking for the yellow. That was a pretty aggressive sweep of the legs. We would call that a slew foot in hockey, if that term means anything. Just when you come up from behind somebody and you take their legs out from under them, and he just swipes the right here and just swipes his legs out. That's a slew foot. McLean into the box. Oh, dangerous one into the middle. Comes back out. Jones has it. Gets it over to the right. Tozer, cross, far post. Lee. Oh, Palmer was there. Palmer knocks it down. Knocked down. Lee had it. Oh, Cannon. It's shots and bounces and ping and pong, and I don't even know it's red and black, white jerseys everywhere. We've still got it. Over edge of the area. It's in and out. It's in and out. It's back in. Now we've got it. McLean step over. We're going to get another. Oh, he kicked it out. I thought that was deflected. That should have been 3-4 opportunities. All good, M. In NL, is that the Netherlands? I'm trying to think what else NL could be. So, 82nd minute, watching Knots trying to do the push. Here they come again. That's a long ball. We haven't seen long ball. McCauley took it, but it's gone away, and it's going to go for a goal kick. Awesome. 253 people sitting in. Newfoundland could have been a great option as well. I should have known that too, but the Netherlands. I would love to get somebody from Newfoundland. It takes another one off the list. Man, the Wrexham fans. I love the echo. Just a reminder, while we're waiting for Ogonkwo to actually play this, no yellow card for time wasting. There it goes. Women's match tomorrow. Going to be on for that one against the New Saints at the Rock if you're in Wrexham and want to make your way there. Local derby because it's only, 17 kilometers away is Oswestry from, and I probably mispronounced that one, the New Saints heading up the road. So we'll be on for that one and have an opportunity to chat. And then keep your eye out for the Welsh Beast and I getting together on a live chat. So you can do the same thing and just chat with him and I and talk all things Wrexham, a replay of the game. And that'll likely happen tomorrow as well after the game, probably around 1 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m., depending on the daylight savings adjustment in England. So corner, while I was doing the sales pitch, they're going to do a short corner. They're all lining up for the short corner. I'd be surprised they take it here. Mendy, Evans got too close. They do the short corner still, playing it all the way out and all the way doing the switch to the right. Fascinating that you get a corner and you take away that opportunity because you're that confident in your style of play. Yeah, Carl is amazing, and we've had a couple of good videos that are on his channel, so we're going to restream through both. So if you want to watch through his or watch through mine, it doesn't matter. Trouble, giveaway, and then missed. Gotta love that. Indiana, I'm going to write that down because I'm not sure I've got Indiana or not. I know I've got Iowa. I think I do because I had... Looks like we got you. Ogonkwo taking his time, 84th minute. I still think it's going to be 4 minutes of added time when we get there. Qatar, that's a new one. Still taking our time. I'm surprised the ref isn't given a yellow yet, or at least a caution to say hurry up. I haven't heard any intimation that he's done that, because Ogonkwo's taken a full 30, 40 seconds off the clock, it seems, each time. Ball down the line, left side. This is their Palmer, or Austin. Oh, that's a foul. Grabs Mendy. Jones is complaining. I'm going to give that 84th minute for the antics of Jody Jones. What a putz. He's the biggest putz on any team that I've seen so far. With all of his flops and then his complaining about stuff the other way, he's a putz. Substitutes, not reserves. It's going to happen. The Welsh anthem being sung through. Less than 5 minutes left. I was beautiful. Knots with it. Macari, the young guy, 21, in trouble. Mullen gets there. He flops on. Mullen calls it. Mullen's pointing at the ball, but I do think that he got him a little bit. It was a flop, but there was at least some contact there. A putz is not a swear word. That's like calling somebody an idiot. It's the idiot equivalence for physical action. Putz with a Z. Now I gotta look it up. I wanted to use an expletive, but I've been trying to mind my P's and Q's. A stupid or worthless person. Somebody who engages in inconsequential or unproductive activity. And I was going with the second definition. Your father called you a putz as a kid? Well, then I will be the first who ever called Jody Jones a putz. Clown, moron, idiot, donkey, all of those apply. Catherine, you're holding your breath? We're up 2-0. It doesn't get any better than this, and I'm knocking on all the wood over here while I'm doing this. Smile on my face. Shots are 14-15. And now finally out of the midfield stripe. You know, for a push, Knots is pretty slow in moving forward, because even now they moved it forward on the right side, and now they're going to do a switch all the way back on the midfield stripe. The clock is ticking. Clock is ticking, and I'm all for it. This is the best defense we could have, is them just kicking the ball around. Now maybe moving forward with Mendy. Yes. Oh, that was not a foul. He didn't even touch him. Now he's rolling around on the ground. Who is, like, there was no contact there. That was Jody Jones again. He sold himself. And he gives him a thumbs up. There was no contact from Mendy there. He just flopped. I do have Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The most underrated international city I've ever been to is Kuala Lumpur, or for the UK people who don't know what I'm saying, Kuala Lumpur, which isn't what it is. It's Kuala Lumpur, but I understand you won't understand me. So Jones is here taking this kick. The putz. Can't stand on his feet. Like, I hope somebody runs through him, to be fair. I don't like to ill will in people getting injured, but I'd like to somebody actually run through him. A Venezuelan refugee in Mexico. That's amazing. Back to the midfield stripe. The pressure forward, 88 minutes, and they're all the way back, kicking it back to Slocum, and there's a cheer for it. Somebody pressure him to see if he'll kick it out of bounds. That would be the best outcome. Doesn't. They've got it at the midfield stripe again, coming forward. Nobody really chasing it down, so we're in shape already. Jones, the putz, left side, dancing against Mendy. Still waiting for the announcement. I think 4 minutes, it sounds about right to me. Maybe even 3. I think 4 might be generous, given what was done in the last half. Into the edge of the penalty area. Up, chipped, over top. McGoldrick over to the far post. It's there. O'Connor heads it away, and Macaulay's screaming for a foul, but he got to the ball. If you got to cheat, don't play. Or if you got to cheat, just don't be a putz about it. Like, I'm okay with selective flopping that ends up drawing a foul. But, like, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flops. 10 flops by one player during the game. So they're working it over now. Knots has it. 89th minute. We'll know what the extra added time is shortly. Into the middle of the field, O'Brien gets it over to McGoldrick over on the outside, moving towards the area. He's running at Lee, takes the shot, and no threat for Ogonkwo. McGoldrick, that was hopeful. I know that he's got the power behind the shot, but that was simple. Twit works. Getting close to here, and while we wait for Ogonkwo to take it, mash the subscribe button. We're up at 279. If everybody goes and hits that, I'm going to be through the roof here. Looking for a little bit of love. There was an Arsenal fan who came in. Selective flopping. I am okay with selective flopping. I did see Qatar. Yes. So it's back in play. 90th minute. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So here we go. Notts County pushing down the right side into their third. Austin gets it to Cameron. Austin. Looking, dancing up against two players. Lee and McLean both there. Opts to go back, so now O'Connor's got it, and they're going to cycle all the way back and do the switch. They want to push forward, but it's just not what they've got. This isn't their style. Long cross, and that was wasted. Beautiful. Pressure on. I thought that they would be okay from behind, but they're not because they've just fallen apart. That was a horrible cross. I think I had Chile. I do. Ogonko or O'Connor are my votes for man of the match, but I'm willing to listen to everybody. I would love a break to 1,000. Hit the subscribe button and get me there. So Fletcher coming in for Mullen. Last I heard, we're in third, and if we can get another goal, we'd get into second. Catherine's starting to breathe a little easier with 2.5 minutes to go. Well, I guess we'll go over 4 now because of the sub. But here we go with Ogonkwo. Long kick down. 300 watching. It's amazing. We're going to stay for a while and chat after the game, at least another 15, 20 minutes, talk about what's happening. But minute and a half passed, not still with it in their half. They just no opportunity to push forward. We're holding shape down to the Putts. Putts down the left side against Mendy. Putts rolling, 2 men on him. Oh, he almost knocked it out. Putts turns around, he's got it. And he gets it away to McGoldrick. And McGoldrick with a bad first touch, and so just hammered down the field by Lee, and Slow comes out to go and get it. Is it going to go out? Oh, he kept it in. Left on the end up against the touchline and kept it in. We don't say the magic word, Adrian, until it happens. That's the one word you're not allowed to say. Back to the midfield stripe. Knots down the right side this time. Looks like it's up as far as Austin. The camera's really wide, so Randall, they say. Okay, couldn't tell if it was Austin or Randall. Now over to the left. See, just the same thing from Knots. Possession in the back and nothing really coming forward. Over to the right. Here we go. Time's a ticking. Bad first touch by McGoldrick. We get a chance to clear, but it doesn't. They're able to get it at the midfield stripe. Jody Jones for the player of the match. Putts of the match. I get it. POM. I should have read that one right. Are we going to create that as a new putts of the match? Our inaugural winner? McGoldrick. Fletcher comes behind. Fletcher, that was beautiful defensively. Sneaks up behind McGoldrick, just soft punched forward. O'Connor gets it. Fletcher gets it, plays it forward, lays it off, and then plays it up to Palmer. Palmer runs forward. Another flop. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Flop. And here they come back. No threat from Notts County coming forward. Man of the match, I hear Ogonko. My vote's O'Connor. Waiting for what you guys say. Here's McGoldrick with it up at the front, guarded by... Oh, Luke Young came in, and I didn't even notice. Cross into the box, and then pumped away. That's going to be a goal kick. I thought that came off of Macaulay. That should just about do it. Everybody, we're up to 289 people. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, and I bless those that have done it, please give me the opportunity to do some amazing things with this channel. We've already been talking about, are we going to be donating money to the club, giving away fan giveaways? I'm not looking to get rich off of this thing, but I am looking to share some of this back with the community, some of it, a healthy amount of it. Would love to be able to get to the point of being monetized, so click that. Palmer, no whistle yet. We're past 4 minutes. He's going to give Knotts an opportunity to run it forward, and they called a free kick. So here comes Knotts, looking for it. Midfield stripe, down the left side. Putts with it, up against Mendy. And it could be a corner. And Jones rolls on the ground. Thanks, Spencer. I appreciate it. I assume it's going to be game over right after this one. Beijing, China. There's the whistle. Whoo! Circle the calendar. Date on the calendar. Remember this one. I did not expect a 2-0 game. I didn't expect Wrexham or the possession to be what it was. I didn't look at the final, but I mean they controlled to bump it up to 63%. But we were in that 56, 58%. I didn't expect Notts County to be as painfully obvious in attack. I will say to Knott's credit, what they're very, very good at is those first touches. Hey, it's a win for us. Let's take a look at the league, the updated standings. So we're sitting tied with Knott's for second place. Undefeated, what is that, 8 for us now? Hey, Brent, no worries. It's been a pleasure having you. Peter, thanks for joining. I hope, I'm going to sit here for 15, 20, so if we want to chat. We still don't have a vote for man of the match. I've seen a couple of votes for Ogunko. I've seen a couple for O'Connor. If there's another suggestion, throw it out there. A clean sheet, I guess you have to go. We are in third because of goal differential. And not only goal differential, we're tied on goal differential, it's on goals for. We're 1 goal behind. So 1 more goal would have pushed us over top of them. Appreciate it, Sharon. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're on for the women's match against the New Saints. And so that'll be a fun one. And then keep your eye out on the lives for the Welsh Beast. We're going to start a little podcast. The idea, going to call it the Hot Stove. And the idea, I want to reach out to all the different podcasters and to fans, people like you. You can chat, you can join, you can communicate, you can go on video and just chat Wrexham. Why did you become a fan? That sort of thing. So Cannon up there from, you know what? I loved Cannon for everything but his passing. It reminded me of Aaron James 2 games ago when he was playing on the right side, where Aaron James had all of the style, all the play, all the position, all the tackles, but just was missing on the passing. And so I can't give it to Cannon for that one, but I do appreciate that that's there. Appreciate it, Catherine. We're up to 769. Jesus. I'm going to make a graphic for putts of the match and put it out into the universe and see what Notts County thinks about it. I've had a couple of individuals saying that I'm North American. I know nothing about football, and no business talking about English football was his comment. And I think they'd appreciate the use of the word putts being attributed to one of their players. So putts for the Twit Award, yeah. Pack. I talked about Liam getting banned at halftime. I think it's garbage from the EFL, Sky, and from Wrexham. Nonsense. I guess it's going to be Ogunko for man of the match, and I'm going to have to go to my restream because I'm missing. The chats are scrolling so fast. I'm admittedly a full-on documentary plastic fan. My wife is English. My in-laws are all English. I have Welsh roots with some Scottish and English, about a third. Maybe a little bit less Welsh, to be fair. I think it's like, but anyways, my grandpa's line is Welsh, and I was looking for a club, and I went to some Donny games. Not a fan of Doncaster. Not the city, not the people, but the actual club, just so I don't get murdered by any of the in-laws. And so I kept looking for a club, and I tried Premier League teams, thought maybe Chelsea, but then they brought in an American, and I couldn't have that. So I was looking for 6 years, and the documentary came about, and I watched games, I followed along, but I didn't support anybody. And then it happened. And I said I was a plastic new fan, and I lost 5 subscribers? Ouchies. Give it a like before you go. Another Australian boy, performance of the season so far. Thanks, Myrtle. And that's, I don't know, was it me or the team? Maybe it was both, but it certainly was as far as I guess I don't need to hear as much as I love Mr. Griffiths and his broadcasting. Doing the dishes, people doing cleanup, listening to mine. Hey, Moises Amaro, thanks. Appreciate the support from Brazil. Awesome. Dual indeed. I want to get the anthem stuff going and learn a little bit more Welsh. It's tougher during the women's matches because Aberystwyth, if I got that right, Pontypridd. I'm going to be mispronouncing Welsh names all over the place. Thanks, Megan. I appreciate it. You're my first fan in that regard that I've picked up from the chat. I appreciate that. So yeah, the League 2 table, I never really got to it, and I'll just break down the stats and have a look, and then we'll wind it up. And then obviously the updated matches that are coming for Wrexham. So Crews still up 1-0, but that'll be interesting to see what happens as that one winds too. They're still playing up against Harrogate, and it'd be nice if Harrogate can steal an extra one there and bring back Crew from 2 points down. So everybody up at the top other than Knott's won. So that keeps Stockport at the top of the table now 5 points clear. Wrexham's now drawn into a tie for second. Mansfield a point behind, but also a game to play. And Crew also tied with them at 29 points. With their most recent win. Morecambe doing the climb. 5 games in a row, 3 wins, 5 undefeated. So they're back into it. So that game gets a little bit more important. Accrington Stanley, that's interesting stuff. Swindon Town falling to Morecambe's rise. So enjoy the weekend if you guys are there. We play... Let me go back. I was so focused on the women's match that I didn't even look up who we've got next. We've got Mansfield FA Cup on Saturday the 4th, so we're a whole week off. The interesting thing about that one is somebody said it was available in Hulu in the US, so if you're a US viewer and you get that, send me a message and let me know. It gives me some intimation that it may be picked up by Sportsnet and be televised. My understanding is with the FA Cup games is that Hulu and Sportsnet and the other international distributors just repurpose and repackage the games picked up by the BBC and ITV. And that being the case, they're unanticipated that they're going to be broadcasting the Wrexham match because I don't know where they'd be getting it from. Aberystwyth. Thank you. So if you guys are able to figure that out, there was a good call by Coops and I missed it. So now I got to scroll back up and go backwards. I can't see it. My system doesn't want to work. ESPN Plus has all of the FA Cup games. Well, maybe they will on Sportsnet as well, but I don't think that's the case. If that's the case, then I'm going to be looking at Brendan to lead the charge next weekend because I'm going to be a listener. And so I don't want to try the VPN to roll with it, but I'll have to talk and figure it out. All FA games are on ESPN Plus. Fascinating. So you can get every FA Cup in the United States and you can't get every FA Cup match in England. Fascinating. Just absolutely fascinating. So FA Cup game, Mansfield next weekend. We're here with the women tomorrow. Keep an eye out for the Welsh Beast and I doing a live just similar to this. I'm going to redesign and rejig things a little bit and come up with a new thing. Well, I might do it on Restream. It's easier than just do that. Thanks, Astro. I appreciate that. Everybody's welcome. If you haven't hit the subscribe button as you're leaving, I'm still down to 140 and probably going to call it a wash and go and help the wife who's been stuck with the kids and get our start to the day. Got to head down. Not free those subscriptions. Yeah, but that's easy. We got to pay for it. If Sportsnet has them all available, I will pay for it. And if they do, I'll be back. So I got to figure that out with the Mansfield connection as to whether I'm able to do it, find somebody else, or what we do. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm hoping to see you guys tomorrow for the game. It's an important one. Trying to create separation for the Wrexham women in the standings to be top 4, so that they can compete for the championship at the end of it. And New Saints is knocking on the door, so I'd like to get some distance and put them to bed. So this was a beautiful game. Wrexham did what they needed to do, implemented their style. Parkey deserves some credit because that was a ballsy lineup, going with 2 midfielders in the back line because he knew what they were going to be dealing with was a Notts team that was going to play in the manner that they did. He looks like a hero, and a lot of people, I don't know if I would have had the guts to do it. Good on Tozer for coming in when Tunnicliffe went down. We'll have to see what that injury ends up showing as. And I'm going to have a look at some point in time and have to give a putts video for Mr. Jones because that was comical. And I'd be embarrassed to be fair if I was him with that display. But 2 amazing, impressive goals. Just I wouldn't say our normal relentless nature. It wasn't that we broke them down because this was a response to how they play. Long ball searching, and maintaining possession. And by the end of it, that back line, they're horrible. I've said that before. I got in trouble for it, but they are, and they just couldn't hold up. Never bet. I appreciate it. Welcome and thank you for the subscription. Feel free to join us next weekend, and we'll see if it's me or somebody else that's here. Super thankful for all of you. Take care. Have yourselves a good one. Feel free to watch the preview video and read the comments because there was a lot of stuff I expected to be lit up by Notts County fans if it went south today. So always, I will take the win every time. But the nice thing is in a brutal loss like the Stockport one, I get way more traffic after the game. So let's get to... I could stay here forever. It's been awesome. I'm going to see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not for the women's match, then maybe for the hot stove, where I'm going to meet and chat with Carl about all things this game, all things Wrexham, and the chat will be open so you can ask us questions, tell us about yourselves, and if we have an opportunity, depending on who asks, I can add you and you can feel free to join in and just talk about yourselves and ask questions and move forward. So much love and happiness. This has been the Red Horde. My name is Sean Driver.